Yeah, isn't that like the whole thing that like Europe doesn't put all this shit in their food, and that's why Europeans are in better health?
But their candy sucks.
On today's Pardon My Take, we have our good friend Ryan Fitzpatrick on the show, talking football, talking NFL, how the season's going, quarterback play, who he's got as a surprise team, talking about logistics of being a quarterback, everything with Ryan Fitzpatrick, also water slides. We're going to talk some Monday Night Football, playoff baseball. We have college football talk because it is Wednesday, hot seat, cool throne, and Jimbos. So great show for everyone. It's brought to you by our friends at Peloton. Sometimes it's super tough to fit working out into your fall schedule. Well, guess what? Your routine should never feel routine. Back to school, to work, to the grind. Nope. Flip the script this fall by tapping into Peloton's endless variety of exercise options with the Peloton Bike or Bike Plus. From intervals to club banger rides, your workouts will go from can't face to can't wait. Peloton's not just a class of fitness entertainment mashup that'll have you whooping along at the top of your lungs and telling your friends afterwards, I have a Peloton bike, I have a Peloton tread. I love both of them. It feels like you aren't working out because you got someone telling you to work out, and it's fun, interactive. It gets your mind off it. Nothing's worse than like getting on a bike or a treadmill and just, oh, here I go again. No, Peloton isn't just a fitness fad. It actually works. Proof, 90% of Peloton households that join at the start of the year are still active 12 months later. Unsure? We've got you. Try Peloton Bike or Bike Plus free for 30 days. Not for you. Return it for a full refund. I love Peloton, like I said. Also, it's great having workout in your house. You don't have to be like, oh, well, I have to go to the gym. I have to get in the car. I have to get parking. I'm going to do all this. No. You just go hop on your bike, 20, 30, 45-minute rides. They have all different types, and you feel great. And you feel active and healthy lifestyle with Peloton Bike or Bike Plus. So find your zone with a 30-day worry-free home trial of Peloton bikes. Visit onepeloton.com/home trial. 30-day worry-free home trial of Peloton bikes. I guarantee you'll love it. Visit onepeloton.com/home trial. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Wednesday, October 11th. And PFT, Jordan Love might suck.
I heard you smiling when you say that. He didn't look good on Monday Night Football.
I was smiling.
He looked pretty bad. Both teams look bad. Can we say that? Football looked bad on Monday.
I thought the Raiders looked scrappy.
A little bit scrappier than I thought they'd be. Jimmy G didn't play super consistently. Jacoby Myers, not a New England Patriot. Why is that, Hank?
He didn't resign. They didn't want to pay him.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, there's your answer.
He looked like he had some fight in him.
Yeah. No, I have a fun blind resume for you. Ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
QB1, last two games, 428 yards, 1 TD, 5 interceptions. QB2, 615 yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception.
I think the second quarterback is well, the first one's definitely Justin Fields.
Wrong.
What?
Yeah.
But Justin Fields stinks.
No. 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, last 2 games. That's Justin Fields.
Like how I let Big Cat just go off on that.
Yeah, but listen, it was nice to watch a Monday Night Football game and be like, oh, maybe the Packers don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback. I still think that they'll probably figure something out because I'm just used to that.
Yeah, you know how when we did the interview with Aaron Rodgers and you said that every year that the Packers don't win the Super Bowl, that's like your Super Bowl?
Yeah.
This year your Super Bowl is just Jordan Love not being a top 3 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. And I'm winning a lot of Super Bowls.
Yeah, you're winning. You've won.
Week 1.
Week 1, you lost.
Week 1, I lost.
Yeah.
Horrifically. But I actually thought the Raiders are in that weird spot where I think they might be scrappy. They'll probably win a few games here.
You're forgetting about who their coach is.
Yeah, their coach is a big, dumb, fat idiot. And Josh McDaniels, by the way, his face is getting fatter.
And he loves field goals.
Loves field goals.
He did another crazy field goal. Got blocked. I think it was 4th and 1, right around midfield.
Yep.
It ended up being a super long field goal. Didn't work out for him. He loves. He is in love. He wants to marry a field goal.
He loves field goals. But yeah, the Raiders. I don't know something about him. I think it's just because they do have enough dudes. Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, Josh Jacobs,
Jacoby Myers.
Jimmy Garoppolo. They have some dudes.
You're including Jimmy G as a dude? He's
Yeah.
a dog. We know he's a dog.
I feel like Jimmy G going to Las Vegas and maybe not being on the best team, but like scrapping around. If they end up with like 6 wins, 7 wins, my respect for Jimmy G will go up.
So I was thinking about this last night. My respect for Jimmy G went up thinking about the fact that he took the contract to go play in Las Vegas. Be what, $67.5 million? $67.5 million to go hang out in Las Vegas and just fuck around for a few years with probably zero expectation of winning.
Yes.
That's a dog. That's a dog move. He did not do that to win football games. He did that to fuck around and have a good time.
I respect the hell out of it. It's like when Manny Machado went to San Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Chris Bryant going to Denver.
Good career move.
Yeah. Go play some baseball. No pressure. Like, yeah, I guess the Raiders still have, they're still like a kind of a national brand, but really no one expects anything out of them. And you get to make a lot of money. You get to live in Vegas, win a couple games, throw some balls. Did you see Devontae Adams actually said that Jimmy Garoppolo is, I can't remember the exact quote. It was something about how Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't come into the meetings pretending that he knows everything. And he's like, no slight to my other guys, but it was definitely a slight to his other guys. And I like that. So Devontae Adams, he's won over Devontae Adams, who I think Devontae Adams is firmly will be mildly in trade rumors for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
Like just somewhere around there.
Well, like halfway through the season, if the team's not doing well and he seems unhappy, it's going to be every year. It'll probably be this year too, actually.
I think it's already started this year.
We'll talk about that. Who needs? Oh, the Panthers need a wide receiver if they want to contend.
Panthers need a wide
Maybe
receiver.
look at that. Also, we had brother kickers last night. We had.
I missed that one. That's on me. I should have warned you guys.
You should have. We had Anders Carlson and Daniel Carlson both kicking. Anders is Anders Bjorn Carlson, and then Daniel Wilhelm Carlson. Very European. I think they're Norwegian, but via Texas, by way of Texas.
They both played at Texas?
They were both born in Texas.
Born in Texas. Here was the quote. He's one of the best that I've been around at any position, let alone quarterback, of taking accountability, not taking anything away from Derek and Aaron. I felt like it was taking something away from them. But basically, like Jimmy G will come in and be like, yeah, I fucked up, guys.
Yeah, because he probably doesn't really have an ego to him.
Yeah, right.
He might have an ego. It's hard to be that attractive and not have an ego.
He's got a slight ego. Well, he's not like a great quarterback, so
yeah,
that probably keeps him humble.
If you were that good looking, you would wake up every day thinking that you were personally touched by God. Like, okay,
he chose you.
I'm him.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, I'm looking forward to the debate between Aaron Rodgers and Dr. Fauci and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, it'll be good. So Aaron challenged Travis, aka Mr. Pfizer, to a debate. And Aaron talked about being called Mr. Johnson and Johnson too. So it's going to be a battle of the Titans. I can't wait to hear. I'm sure they're both very well read on all the literature.
Yeah.
So I hope that debate actually happens. Do you think would it change people's minds?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone. I think the whole world would be better for it.
Well, for you, Big Cat, it would be interesting because the Swifties would then hate Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So then you can find common ground.
Although I like him now.
The enemy of your enemy is your friend.
That's true. And just so everyone's clear, under debate laws, if Travis Kelce and Dr. Fauci do not accept the debate, they have lost.
Yes.
That is how debates work online.
All recurring guests, all 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
You got to get Robert F. Kennedy on.
You guys can mediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to challenge Miley Cyrus to a private debate. If she doesn't accept, then she loses.
On the block list.
I want to have an intellectual conversation with her.
Other fallout before we get to college football, and we want to talk some playoff baseball as well. Micah Parsons had a hell of a quote after the 49ers kicked the shit out of the Cowboys. George Kittle did have a Fuck Dallas shirt on underneath, which I love.
Yeah.
I think there was maybe some Cowboys and Cowboys fans who were upset about it. That's just sports, baby. That's rivalry. I love that shit. But Micah Parsons said, I think we're the same caliber playoff team. The score doesn't really show what happened out there.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I think the score, maybe it was worse.
Well, he also said, I'm going to say this, laugh now, cry later.
Oh.
And then Debo came back. We got podcast wars going on right now because
Yes.
Micah said that on his podcast. And then Debo went on Hank, your girl Kay Adams show. And Debo said,
Shout out.
we got something for that. Just trust. If we see them again, just trust. You're going to make it personal. We can make it personal. I don't think the Cowboys want to see us again. It might be a little worse. So Debo's saying like, all right, fuck Dallas.
Ass kicking even more.
Also, how many people that got upset at George Kittle wearing a fuck Dallas shirt currently own fuck Philly shirts?
Yes.
Like fuck the Eagles shirts.
That's a very good.
Probably most of them.
That's a very good point. Speaking of Philly,
We actually have Fuck Dallas merch in the Barstool store right
yeah,
now.
I love
Yes,
it.
yes,
good.
I'm
yes.
for all of it.
I will buy one.
Speaking of Philly, on Monday night, the Phillies lost what was an incredible playoff baseball game in tragic fashion. Our boy Max is down pretty bad, but I got something to cheer you up.
What was the score?
It was 5-4, and here's the bad
Was it
part.
close the whole game?
No, the Phillies were up 4-0, and Zach Wheeler actually had a no-hitter.
Ooh.
And then,
They kept-
Max is giving
Give
the
me
cat
the
the
finger.
finger through the glass.
No, he's
Subscribe to
not
YouTube.
me.
Oh, Hank.
Hank.
Sorry.
He was giving. To be fair, Max was giving Hank the ring finger,
Yes.
and also to be fair, Max was giving Hank the ring finger on his right hand.
yeah.
I was not doing the right.
I'm just trying to set this. I care about the listeners, Max. I'm just trying to set the scene.
All right,
Yeah,
so I'll
no,
set the scene.
yeah,
So it was 4-0. Zach
Phillies?
Phillies in Atlanta. They're already up 1-0. Could hear a pin drop at Truist Stadium. Blooper was beside himself.
Said.
Yeah, said. Zach Wheeler was pitching phenomenally. Max, who is the manager of the Phillies, decided to bring Zach Wheeler out in the 7th. People were like, "Hey, Max, that's probably a bad idea." And
No
Zach,
one said that, by the way.
Max,
no one said
objection.
that.
I was in the room, and we were all saying, myself included, that the wheels are falling off. And it wasn't meant as a pun for Zach Wheeler. We actually meant that the wheels were falling off. He gave up like 2 consecutive hard hit balls, walked a guy. I think 3 out of 5 batters got on base, and they were decently hit baseballs. It was
No.
not the same Zach Wheeler.
He walked a guy, then he struck a guy out. So the wheels weren't falling off
And
because
then what happened?
he threw one bad pitch. He threw one bad pitch.
which might have had a whistle in front of it.
Correct. There was a whistle.
There's a whistle in front of
I'm
both
still
Braves
waiting for
home
someone to
runs.
give me some more
I don't know
film
if you
breakdown
saw
of the
that.
whistles.
Yeah,
But because all I've
Sad.
seen is whistles in front of the home runs, and I haven't seen any
Well, it's a
non-whistles.
Are you saying people can't whistle at a baseball game?
I'm not saying anything. There was evidence provided for me, and now I'm just asking for someone else to go find some more evidence.
he's asking to open the investigation.
Yes.
Were they the same pitches?
Yes.
Yes.
Same type
both
of
sliders.
pitches? Both
Yes.
sliders,
And
okay.
Both whistles.
according to our investigative journalist, Jack Mack, he said
Oh.
that is also...
What is that? What was that sound?
Yeah, that was gross.
Jack Mack is the best investigative reporter in the world right now.
He's a great investigative reporter, but I think he looks, he likes to make these things. He's a sensationalist.
Jack Mack is basically made out of the internet.
Yeah, he
Right.
knows the internet better than anyone else.
That disrespect
I just-
was disgusting.
No, I was
This-
no. I respect Jack Mack's
you don't.
craft.
Oh,
He's
it
a great
doesn't sound like
No,
you
it
do.
doesn't
investigative
sound like you do.
He
I'll
is-
tell you what, Hank, you keep up with this, Jack Mack will have that fucking lighthouse teared down.
I'm just saying,
Well.
from Max's perspective, like this needs to be coming from a Phillies fan, not an unbiased.
He doesn't like the Braves.
Interesting.
You
Keep going.
just said it unbiased. You said it needs to be. You got to pick your side here.
He's
first
not a
you said it
Phillies
needs
fan.
to
It's not
be-
like this isn't Phillies fans.
But you want biased or you want unbiased?
That's fact or fiction. You want
Fact or
biased
fiction, biased or unbiased?
I want biased.
I just said that to you,
He
and then
doesn't
you
like the Braves.
All right, continue.
Okay.
What did he find?
Uh,
Sorry for interrupting.
no, the other thing that he said that something with the Navy SEALs and whistling means that slider. I don't.
With the Navy SEALs?
All right, yeah, no, I stand corrected. I
SEALs
stand
know
corrected.
sliders coming?
Jack Mack was right.
I don't know. You look at his tweet. It was
Are we
something
sure-
about Navy SEALs.
I'm sure it was a slider. Could have been a sweeper or a slurve or a slutter.
Maybe it was a sweeper. It was something.
The slutter is my favorite.
Wait,
The slider
Navy
cutter.
SEALs whistle before a slider's coming?
I'm gonna let me
I'm
check
pulling
my
it up.
facts
I'm
here.
pulling it
Yeah,
up. Don't
yeah,
worry
yeah,
about
yeah.
it,
So
man.
I'm-
All right, you get it, Max. We got more questions about this game. So this was a devastating loss
Yes, as you can tell from my reaction.
because you guys were up. You're about to win both games in Atlanta, go back to the bank, only need one at the bank, and take down the best offense in baseball this year. Maybe historically. I don't know if they were historically the best offense, but you're on cruise control, and you kind of let your hand off the wheel, and you put Zach Wheeler back out there in the 7th, and now it feels like the Braves just got all the momentum back.
Well, they got to go to the bank.
They got to go to the bank.
Gotta go to the bank.
Good at stopping momentum.
Big Cat forgot about the bank.
And here's the one positive thing for you, Max, which I think is the worst move ever. Do you know the Braves did a red carpet?
Yes.
They
That
did
was
a red carpet
talk about champagne.
Wait,
walk
for what?
to get on the bus to go to the airport.
For Game 3 of the NLDS?
Yes.
Rest up, fans out there, red carpet.
Do they do that frequently?
I don't know.
We need to find if this
Would they have
look
done it
into
down
this.
0-2?
Yeah, if this is the first time that they've done it, this is a colossal mistake. If it's something they do every time, then I don't really see a problem with it.
Crazy.
It's weird.
Weird move.
It's a weird move, but it's way worse if it's the first time they've done it.
Yes. So they did a red carpet walk to the airport. I don't know. I thought that was a little weird.
It's a little strange for sure. But the bank, you got the bank.
The bank is
And
there.
Big Cat and I were discussing after the game was over. These next 2 games are going to be a referendum on the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
Banks
bank's.
has a statement game.
It's the bank's series to win right now, and
No.
lose.
No,
and
yeah.
lose.
If you guys drop 2 at the bank is trash. The bank might be beneath the lighthouse if this is what happens.
What are you going to say, Hank?
Jack Mack's wording was, I checked with my Navy SEAL friend who said the whistle is literally used to signal a sweep is coming, a.k.a. a
Oh.
slider.
Oh.
Why does the Navy
Sweeper.
SEAL?
Sweep.
Where does he have any expertise in baseball? Is he also a baseball player?
You don't know where they were getting their signs. They could be doing some military stuff.
Yeah, they could be doing some military
It's all
stuff.
PitchCom now. They could have been hacking into the database.
It's true.
Navy SEALs outside in a van.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some ex-Navy SEALs Braves fans.
These are all things that could be happening.
They could be happening.
You-
You know
you
what?
didn't-
You know what? I'm on board. I
Yeah.
think that's exactly what happened.
Braves are cheating unless the Phillies beat them. Well, no, especially if the
No,
Phillies
yeah,
beat
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
If the Braves beat the Phillies, then they were extra cheating.
I'm seeing from a member of Braves Twitter that they do this for every postseason.
Oh,
But looking for more.
What,
It's still weird for
yeah,
sure.
they cheat during every
Looking for
postseason.
more
That makes sense.
Oh
confirmation.
no, the red carpet thing.
This is from
either way, we should give credit to the
Irish
Braves
honey dip.
because that
Okay.
was an incredible, like, big moment after big moment.
It was
So
insane.
Riley hitting the one-handed home run, doubling up Bryce at the end of the game. That catch in center field.
Crowd was going insane.
It was awesome. It reminded me just how, like, when baseball playoffs hit in one of those games, it just every pitch feels so intense. There's really nothing like it.
Yeah, I don't see. You usually don't see a bigger turnaround in emotions than a deep drive to center field. Castellanos hit it right,
Crushed it.
crushed it,
Crushed it.
catch at the wall,
I
leaping,
thought it was gone. PFT.
leaping catch. Every Phillies fan is just standing up. Every Braves fan is in dismay. He catches it, turns around, and then doubles Bryce up at first base. The swing of emotions in about a 10-second span was incredible. I think the only better walk-off play, obviously I think like a walk-off home run is incredible at home. If you get a walk-off where the outfielder catches it, runner at third tags up, thrown out at home plate.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better, but this was really good.
This was really good.
I disagree. I did not like it.
Did they cheat on that play?
No, it was a good baseball play.
Quick
Sometimes-
question, Max. Sorry again for being a little uninformed. That's why I asked Big Cat to clarify. But I just saw these videos and they were both right down in the middle of the zone.
Yeah, that was the
that
whistle.
cheating or was that?
They were not right down the middle.
The whistle was,
They were
hey,
both
here
sliders.
comes a meatball.
They're
both
both sliders.
Let's get
The
pitch
Navy
track
SEALs
on
do
that.
it for sweeps.
The Wheeler one may have been right down the middle.
Wait, but the Navy SEAls do it for sweeps?
Yeah, for sweeps.
What sweeps?
Like sweeps week when they give a car away on
Okay.
like a game show,
Yeah.
something like that.
I have
When
something to
Navy
say.
SEAls and Ed McMahon kick your door open and
Yeah.
give you a prize?
Right, exactly.
Yes, the play was unbelievable by Michael Harris, and it was gut wrenching and everything. But I still think that the fact that they came back in the ninth after giving up the 2 runs,
Oh no,
no,
statement loss.
no, not a statement loss. But I do like the fact that they, like, Castellanos hit the ball to win he hit
He didn't hit it out of the park, man.
No,
got
but
caught.
but
He hit the ball
But regardless, that was
trying to win the game.
But that was an.
Oh,
put
Max-
your fucking hand down.
Max, you're
He
talking.
hit-
Question.
You're talking about BABIP. You got cursed by the BABIP.
Oh,
guys.
BABIP. That was you for your
Yeah,
Nationals run.
the Nationals had really bad BABIP luck, which is batting average on balls in play. Because if you hit a ball in play, ultimately it's kind of luck whether or not it gets caught or hit to a fielder or not. You're saying he hit the ball perfectly. It's just dumb luck that their center fielder happened to make a spectacular play using his own skill that he's worked on.
I'm not saying it's a very good play by the Braves, but I would much rather see go down like that than if they were to roll over.
Oh, this is bad.
That's not bad. That is the right take. The fact, like, you can see it with your two eyes. Would you rather them roll over and look like their entire existence? The handshake needs to stop.
I have a question. I don't want to interrupt. I'm trying to learn, educate.
All I'm trying to
educate.
say is that the team showed enough fight to win that game. The Braves just played better in the ninth. I would rather see
Statement loss.
not a statement loss. I'm not saying you guys aren't understanding what I'm saying.
It's a good
Baseball,
loss. It's not
a good loss. It was a bad loss.
You tried.
The
You're
saying
ninth inning, I'm like
You're saying it's a better way to lose than a bad loss.
You're saying the Phillies kept trying.
you guys.
Okay, wait.
it's not, like,
Max,
they-
Max, question. Let's
Phillies-
figure this out.
Well, I had
No.
it first.
Yeah, wait, no, yeah, Hank did.
that was the worst when
his
the
hand
teacher
up.
called him someone before.
But
Yeah,
Max
no.
gets to
Brutal.
decide who to
So
call
bad.
on.
Hank or Max
PFT.
call. Okay,
Max called on me, and then Hank gets to go.
Popcorn.
Hey Hank or hey Max, you would say that that's a better way to lose than a bad loss, right? Than going down without any heart, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what's another word for better than bad?
You're losing me.
Good? Is good better
No.
than bad?
Okay.
Decent.
No,
Give me a word.
I
Give me one word. One word.
Big Cat.
That's not what
my
I'm
question,
looking for, Max.
My question was, Hank, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Max, you played baseball a lot longer than me.
That's there's
You're the
CAA.
baseball guy.
Downstairs is-
3 home runs, all pinch hits.
After hearing your question, I'm wondering, is there a difference between let's call it a 1 foot out and a 398 foot out?
No.
Okay,
On
thank
the
you.
field, no. But in the mentality of the player, yes. Like if you're seeing the ball well and you smoke a ball and you gets caught, you're obviously super pissed off. But you're like, you know what? I saw that ball well. Baseball's a weird sport. You can square one up and a guy makes a good play and there's nothing you can do about it. But you still did your job to like. All you can. There's too many. The hands are an issue with me right now. I don't know why they're making me angry, but they are. I need people to just start talking and interrupting me because the hand.
Okay, I'll start.
Yes,
I'll do you a
yes.
favor on this one, Max. So you're saying it was a good way to lose?
I am not saying it was a good way to lose. All I'm
You're
saying,
happy they lost.
I am not happy
With an
that
out.
Max,
they lost.
I think I got you, Max. I think what Max is saying is, after the game, and this actually is a true story, we were sitting in the gambling cave, and Max just was like mumbling under his breath. He's like, I need to see what that locker room looks like right now.
Castellanos had a great
I
quote.
want to be in that locker room. What Max is saying is, Castellanos hit a ball so hard and so far that he probably got into the locker room after and was like, we basically won that game.
No, that is not what he's saying
Oh,
at
shit.
all.
That's not what he's saying.
Like,
Sorry.
You guys are. What I am saying here makes sense, and you guys just like to play with me and get me angry.
That is a fact. I do like to play with you.
Like you know that it's going to work me up. Hank, what would you like to say?
As a baseball player, when you would hit, like, I guess I'm just trying to reason a little more. I think that it would be frustrating to hit a really, really good hard ball, but just not hard enough. Like, are you ever like, damn, I wish I hit it harder?
In the
Or
moment-
you're like, well,
Yeah.
I hit it
We call
hard.
that warning track power.
Yeah, like I hit it hard, but like,
Yeah.
In
That's
the
good
moment,
enough.
the answer is yes. You are just as angry.
Yeah, PFT.
In the moment, you are just as angry when you smoke a ball out and you have a weak fly ball to the pitcher. But after the game, you can be like, you know what? I did all I could do. I barreled a ball up.
well, no, you
A guy
could've
made
hit
a
it,
guy made.
like,
he
Yes,
didn't do
but
all he
you-
could
but
do.
you
He
can't-
could have hit it harder.
But you can't just say like a home run. Like you can still hit the ball well and not hit a home run. He hit the ball well. It didn't happen to be a home run, but like you
I think you're
cannot.
talking about Babbitt.
I'm not talking about Babbitt.
Yes,
Babbitt,
that's literally what you're talking about right now.
I think. I don't know. I'm talking about quabs, quality ABs.
Yeah, Babbitt.
Quab.
Babbitt.
When I was on the bench, I would make a quab chart in college, and it would just be putting.
Okay.
Would you rather have
ABs.
All right, here's a question, Max. Quab
hold
or
on.
run?
Quabby patties all day?
Would you rather have
Happy patties.
Would you rather have a quab or a run?
Yes, obviously you would rather have a run, but I'm saying you can. If they went down 1-2-3 in the 9th inning, striking out, I would have been
They
a
would have
lot
lost.
less.
Instead,
Yes,
they
I'm talking
hit
about
the ball really hard and they still lost.
I'm talking about going into the next game.
three batters,
I don't
right?
want-
It's actually better than that scenario though, which would make this a good loss.
Right.
Hypothetically.
It's not a good loss. It's not a good loss. It's a
better
bad
than
loss.
the worst
You were
loss.
up, and you also left 11 runners on
What's
base.
another word for better than bad? Better
Also, it was such a good hit that Bryce Harper thought it was gonna be a double, and
Yeah.
that's why he got doubled up. If it was a bad hit,
my hand is
sorry,
up.
PFT. But if it was a bad hit, he should have a runner on and a chance to win. Sorry, continue, PFT.
So, Max, would you say that the way that Bryce hustled back to first base was good because he almost beat that throw out?
Yeah.
I just muted myself. No, that.
But he almost got there. He did everything he could do to get there.
I thought about this. I thought about
It's a quality run.
It was
I thought about this.
quality base running.
No one's talking about.
QBR.
You thought about this?
I thought about this when
How hard?
when I was laying in bed last night.
In your
Remember-
bed? In your bed?
I need the two of you. Yes, in my bed.
Max is just getting bodied left and right.
Do you remember as soon as Bryce Harper got on
Yeah,
and he
you
got
said
on
he's gonna
first
do
base,
something crazy.
I was like, he's going to do something crazy on the base paths.
But in a good
and he
way.
did it. No, I said it in a bad way.
Yeah.
No, you.
I was like, I was scared of Bryce on the base paths because he's going to get over aggressive.
And he did.
That's a quality prediction.
Yeah, he did. You
Which
did.
I-
You can take that away. And
You
be like,
predicted how you were going to lose.
I can mute Hank's mic back here, so I just did that.
Okay. Either way, 2 games at the bank, and the good news is Thursday night will be an elimination game for one of the 2 teams, and we record a show after.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
Big Cat.
I'm rooting
keeps,
for the-
no,
I'm
Big
rooting
Cat
for the
keeps
Phil-
saying that he has his future on
Yeah.
the Phillies, and it is like he has never wanted to piss away money more than in this situation. Like I've never seen a man who's trying to throw away thousands of dollars.
Listen, I am rooting.
I'm rooting for the Phillies.
I'm rooting.
No,
for the
you're not. I
Phillies.
was like,
have a
that
fu-
makes me even
I have
more
a
mad.
future on him, Max.
No, but you like. Oh, this is like your classic win-win of just like you're so willing to burn money to like see my reactions.
Facts.
I'm rooting for the Phillies, but in the interest of the show, it would be better if the Phillies lost. I am rooting for them. I want to say that for the record.
Oh, but PFT, think about my future. You want my
muted you.
future. He muted you. No, you're muted. You're muted.
It would be better for the show. I think what Hank's saying is it would be better for the show if the Phillies lost later in the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah,
In the World Series.
That would be better.
Again.
Also a great call by Brian Anderson.
Yes.
Oh, fuck Brian Anderson.
What?
He's just the fact that the Braves play on TBS every fucking postseason is bullshit.
He's a pro. Stop
No,
it.
he's not. He's a piece of garbage.
You don't know what you're
TBS
talking
is
about.
the owner of the Braves owns TBS.
He's right.
Okay, but he's as neutral
Yes,
as it comes.
His,
No, he's
his
not neutral.
boss
He's
is
the
the
voice
same
signs the
boss
checks.
of the
Who signs his
Braves.
checks?
No way he's as
The Milwaukee Brewers and
You
TBS.
can't be as neutral as it comes
Yes.
and have the owner of the team sign your checks.
He's neutral.
There's no way. He can
No,
be as
he's
neutral as it
not.
comes.
That's on the MLB for having
Yes,
TBS
it is.
the rights holder. You
Yes.
can't blame him.
Yeah.
What? No, I mean that.
No,
is-
he should recuse himself.
He should.
He absolutely should. All right, other series.
Wait. I have a couple Photoshop suggestions for Max.
Okay.
On Blooper, I know that you're fighting that war.
We have a great one cooking up.
I'm done with him.
Blooper got the bestie last night, though. He was tweeting
He
your face
got
out.
the
The soul
bad.
patch was out there. He was coming at you pretty hard. What if it's Blooper and he's in the limo with Suge Knight going down the Vegas Strip? Photos taken seconds before disaster. What about Blooper riding in the back of JFK's limo?
Ooh.
What about that?
Well,
Blooper
Blooper
takes-
Jared Fogle.
Blooper takes fictional death threats very seriously.
Yeah, he does.
What if it's Blooper's head
so
over
seriously.
Bud Dwyer's face with
I mean,
a
that's
paper
fair.
bag in the press cut?
Like he literally, he
You're kind of
thinks,
just glossing over. Like that's just like so Philly to be like, dude, it's a fake death threat.
What?
That's
Yeah,
a good point
what?
by Hank.
What? I don't know what that means. It's
That
a
is-
bad point. You're getting muted again.
It's a fair point by Hank.
I like this booth because
Max
I
thinks he's
have-
Tony
I have
Reality
power.
back.
Yes, I have all
All right,
the power. with
other
this booth.
series. The Diamondbacks went into Los Angeles and won 2 games. Dan Herron's Diamondbacks. The only thing I fear is that if the Dodgers lose again, they're 100% going to get the rules changed to make it so that the Dodgers can be like automatically in the NLCS, because this would be back-to-back years.
It would be bad. It'd be very bad. But I'm rooting for the Diamondbacks. They're fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun game to watch.
Tommy Pham's batting third for them.
Yeah.
And then the Orioles are dead.
Also,
Fun season.
AWL Evan Longoria on that team.
Yes. The Orioles are dead. Fun season. But that was a very bad way to go out.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough for Baltimore. Tough for Camden Yards.
Tough.
It is nice seeing playoff baseball back in Baltimore.
Yeah, but you'd rather not get swept. And that was fun fact. So it's 7-1 right now in the bottom of the 7th. This will be the first time the Orioles get swept all year.
Whoa.
Bad time.
That's wild.
Bad time to have that happen.
That's wild. You never know what could happen, though.
Yeah.
Never know what could happen.
And then I'm fearful that the Astros are
Bye is bad.
the Astros are just back because they kicked the shit out of the Twins.
Mm-hmm. So it's 2-1 now.
It's 2-1 now. And so the Twins have an elimination game on Wednesday afternoon.
So then we're looking at the Battle of Texas,
Battle of Texas.
and we got to be Rangers fans.
Yeah, Battle of Texas. It's going to be all Southern CS. Battle of Texas, and then Arizona versus Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Battle of the A's.
The South is back.
You didn't catch that.
No, he's like deep into trying to find some. Max is the king of like 10 minutes after being like, what I wanted to say. He gets his
I
thoughts
wanted to
about
say
it.
Next question.
He gets his thoughts.
Yes, PFT.
Do the Braves fans sing along to their walk-up songs when the batters come up to the plate?
No, Braves fans were dead.
They were doing the chop.
The
were
chop.
doing the chop.
SVP
Yeah.
SVP was doing
you
the
want to
chop.
talk? You want to talk about them
Buster
doing the chop
Olney
on
was doing the
on
chop.
Indigenous Peoples Day?
That's a good. Oh, good. You had that in your pocket. All right.
Yeah, because they took that day
Yeah.
from you, Max, as an Italian.
I saw a lot of Sopranos clips yesterday, and I didn't know that as an Italian I'm supposed to be pro Christopher Columbus, but I learned that from Tony Soprano yesterday.
Yeah, so playoff baseball has been great. Should we talk some college football? Should we do some college football talk, boys?
Let's discuss.
Before we get to college football, a quick word from our friends at The Farmer's Dog. The results of switching your dog's food from kibble to fresh can seem like magic when a senior dog starts acting like a puppy again, and the pickiest of eaters can't wait for dinner time. You might think some spells were cast, but The Farmer's Dog doesn't use any sorcery or secret ingredients to make their fresh food, just science. The Farmer's Dog makes and delivers fresh, healthy dog food. It's developed by vets, nutritionally balanced, and made from real healthy ingredients to human food safety standards. It's the best option for dogs at all life stages because it's not kibble, it's not canned goo, it's just real healthy food. Traditional dry and wet dog food options are highly processed, can use much lower quality ingredients than they claim to, and are extremely difficult to portion accurately. The Farmer's Dog isn't just fresh, higher quality food. They also send the food pre-proportioned specifically for your dog based on their unique nutritional needs. I've been using the Farmer's Dog with Stella for 4 years now, before they even became a sponsor. PFT gives Blake the Farmer's Dog. It is delicious food for your dog. You can tell right away their coats are shinier, better poops, all that stuff with the Farmer's Dog. And guess what? Dog is a part of your family. So you got to start feeding your dog like they're a part of your family. Don't give them the old processed, canned, little kibble stuff. Give them Farmer's Dog. Get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/PMT. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/PMT to get 50% off. That's thefarmersdog.com/PMT. Go right now. Your dog will love it. Your dog will be happy, healthier, all because of the Farmer's Dog. Treat your dog well. They're part of our families. Thefarmersdog.com/PMT, 50% off. It comes Stella and Blake approved. Okay, college football. We talked about it a little bit on Sunday, but I think that Miami loss might have been the worst loss ever.
I think it'd be tough to find. Well, do you remember the game in the NFL last year? It was the Patriots at the Las Vegas Raiders.
We're talking NFL or college football?
No, I'm just saying, like,
all losses.
just losses.
Losses.
I don't think regular season counts for any then.
Well, this was a regular season loss.
No, I'm saying, but all real bad losses are playoff losses.
This is a regular season loss.
Yeah,
The worst way to lose a game. This is definitely up there. I'd say top two, probably number one. not taking a knee. 35 seconds left in the game.
36 seconds. The game is won.
Yeah.
Game is over.
Patriots game was tied.
The game is over.
Makes it worse that they lost.
It does.
It doesn't.
I watched that clip so many times and I still couldn't comprehend what was going on because not only did they not take a knee when they could have and the game would be over, they fumbled, and yes, I think his arm was down, but you should have taken a knee, so you should never have had that happen. Georgia Tech goes down the field in 2 plays, wins the game, and I know Miami probably wasn't going to go to the college football playoff, but they were undefeated, and they had everything in front of them, and now, I don't know what, how do you bounce back from that?
I think the biggest loss of the weekend is Prevent defense.
Yes.
Prevent defense took a major L this week.
Well, yeah.
And we always talk about how stupid it is. Run your normal defense. Obviously, you'll have to put in like a nickel back or an extra guy in the secondary just to cover, the threat of the downfield pass. But when you go so soft with everything, you just get steamrolled. It happened in this game at the very end when they had no time left basically on the clock. It happened in the Red River shootout, the Red River S-out, where rivalry, where Oklahoma just marched down the field on Texas. Just wide open guys running rough. You know what? They were running roughshod in the secondary on Saturday.
The only thing that it prevents you from is winning.
Yep.
And it was the Red River rivalry it always delivers. I know there's some years where it's a blowout, but the chaotic nature of that game is so it's just so much fun. Quinn Ewers comes out, throws 2 interceptions, and I think he completed 19 in a row after that. And Oklahoma, Brent Venables, that was his statement. I have arrived. Forget Lincoln Riley. We can stop being petty about Lincoln Riley leaving. Brent Venables got you a defense, got you. They won you that game. They should win the Big 12 regular season, meet Texas again in Dallas. But yeah, Sark lost that game when he ran the ball on 3rd and 9 to try to settle for a field goal, and then went into prevent defense and let Oklahoma just go right down the field.
Sark also temporarily won the game when I think they tried to ice Texas's kicker, and then Sark just went out and started joking with the kicker. He told, I want to know what was said to him, because he told him a funny joke, and the kicker started to laugh. Sark started to laugh, slapped him on the ass, and out there. Dude splits the uprights on a long field goal. Looked like Texas had won the game, and then the boys just played so deep in coverage, got roasted, and then the Golden Cowboy hat. One of the more underrated trophies in sports, I think.
It's it hurts to put on.
Yeah, it fit really well on Charlie Strong.
Yes.
Because he had a really shiny, lubed up head that it would fit on.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, I think it would probably hurt to put on. But Oklahoma played a good game. Both teams played good until the very end, and it was a fun game to watch. The game's always crazy.
We also had 2 statement wins from Georgia and Michigan. So Michigan has not really played a ton of great teams yet. James Franklin actually is getting spicy, which I like. So James Franklin had a quote today where he said, let me pull it up. He said, there's a team in this conference that's buying out a ton of game contracts to go in another direction. You got to do whatever you possibly can to give yourself a chance to be undefeated. Just getting that shit talk going right now. Mm-hmm. But Michigan, absolutely demolished Minnesota. PJ Fleck said it was the best football team he's ever played against in his 11 years of coaching.
Which is a great spend zone to have if you're a coach that gets your ass kicked.
Incredible. And that was it was over instantly. I think they had a pick 6 10 seconds in the game. And Georgia, which was so classically Georgia and also Kentucky, because Kentucky going into Georgia. Kentucky's looking good. Georgia just completely demolished him. Brock Bowers, Heisman, very much alive. Jaden Daniels also could very well win the Heisman.
So I didn't get to watch that game. What was the stat line that Brock put up?
Brock had 120-ish yards and a touchdown.
132. 132 and a tutty.
Just keep it in the back of your head. There's a way that Brock could get at least in the Heisman final discussion.
I think Jaden Daniels also could be in the Heisman because that LSU defense is so bad, so every game has to be a shootout.
Yeah.
But yeah, Georgia and Michigan both look very impressive in a year where we're who's the best team, who's the best team? And Alabama, boys, we might have buried them a little early. Look at this. I'm actually going to go. I'm gonna reverse everything we said a couple weeks ago after the USF game, and they almost lost that game. Is this Nick Saban's best coaching job?
I think Nick Saban deserves a contract for life.
Is this his best coaching job? He doesn't really have a quarterback. Jalen Milroe.
Well, he can still throw the deep ball.
He throws a great deep ball. It's going to be great when Tennessee plays Alabama, It's going to just be run, deep ball, run, deep ball because neither quarterback can throw the intermediate stuff.
Yeah. After the Texas-Alabama game, I put actually at halftime of the Texas-Alabama game, I put a future on Texas to win the Natty, and I put a future on Alabama to win the Natty.
Nice.
Just in case Alabama somehow reverted back to being Alabama. So, ironically, my line on Alabama winning the national championship was really, really juicy. Now I'm rooting for Alabama.
I mean, they have a couple big games left. They have to go to Auburn for the Iron Bowl. They have to play Tennessee at home. I think they have to go to Kentucky, and they have LSU as well at home. So it's like there's some big-time games coming up. But Alabama has found something like we are a defensive team, and Jalen Milroe just does enough with the deep ball and his feet. And that was also just a classic Jimbo Fisher. Like, you need to win that game if you're Jimbo Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
You have to win that game. And they don't win that game, and now Texas A&M fans are back to buy out Jimbo and all this stuff. And I like Alabama. It's just so funny. Like we overreact to everything here, but it could be Nick Saban's best coaching job.
I like that. Let's run with that one.
Yeah.
And then looking ahead to the matchups this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oregon, Washington, USC, Notre Dame.
Have they announced where game day is going? Probably
Oregon,
Washington. That makes sense. USC, Notre Dame. UCLA, Oregon State.
Yeah.
Actually a sneaky good
Notre
matchup.
Dame, USC.
Miami, UNC.
Yes.
We've got great games. James Madison, Georgia Southern.
That's a huge one.
Massive.
You're forgetting probably the biggest shootout game in the world.
Rivalry game, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iowa, Wisconsin.
Let's go.
Iowa didn't complete a pass to a wide receiver last week.
That's very
They
impressive.
have their backup quarterback in. He's bad. But this Iowa-Wisconsin game is going to be especially like true sicko Big Ten. I can't wait to watch it.
I got a question for you about Iowa football. They get great tight ends. They're a tight end university. They've generally got good offensive line play. Why don't they just have all their good tight ends? Because they've got the depth. Why don't they just have their tight ends play wide receiver?
They should also just punt on first down because their special teams is elite.
Yeah.
That's really where they like their special teams is always elite.
Yeah. I like the idea of having an all tight end offense.
Yeah. All tight end offense. There also was a report, total viewing of college football across all networks is up 12% this year and up 28% over the last 5 years.
Wow.
So
Is that the Dion effect?
I think that's maybe a little Dion, but it turns out maybe letting college football players market themselves and transfer and a little bit of parity in the landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that actually isn't the maybe the NIL isn't the death of college football.
Either that or America's getting smarter and we're watching more football.
Well, I really do think it's like players get to stay longer because now they can make money.
Mm-hmm.
Players get to market themselves, so we know who these players are more than like most. I think there's an NCAA rule like freshmen can't talk to the media and all this stuff. Like the fact that players can actually we can put a face to their name now and they're out in front of it. Like it might be good for the sport. Who would have thought?
So I just looked this up. You're probably right about that.
Dion definitely is part of it.
The divorce rate in America has gone up significantly since COVID.
Okay.
That means that there's more dudes with Saturdays to spend with the boys.
It's true.
Watching college football.
Saturdays are for the boys.
They are.
We all know that. That's a fact. But yeah, college football is alive and thriving, and everyone doing the hand wringing a few years ago that it was dead and it was never going to be the same. Turns out you're watching more.
Mm-hmm.
So all the people who said they were never going to watch, we know you're watching.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Okay, should we get to Hot Seat Cool Throne and then our great interview with Ryan Fitzpatrick? Hank has to go take a shit.
P.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Max, did you figure out what you wanted to say when we bodied you?
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Okay. Hot Seat Cool Throne brought to you by our friends at Hooters. Hooters is serving up 2 new bundles this football season. The fan favorite comes with 10 wings, fries, and a drink for $16.99. If you're with your friends or feeding a crowd, check out the home team spread, 15 bone-in, 16 boneless, fries, buffalo chicken dip, and a pitcher of beer for $41.99, valid at participating locations only, so check with your local Hooters. That's a whole meal for you and the boys. We also have a Barstool exclusive offer for Hoot Club reward members. Download the Hooters app and enter in coupon code Barstool23 for $5 off your order, of $15 or more, valid at participating locations only, so check with your local Hooters. Download the Hooters app, enter Barstool23 for $5 off $15 or more, and try the new football bundles at Hooters. Always a good time. Also, happy birthday to Hooters. They celebrated their 40th birthday last week.
Oh, happy birthday, Hooters.
Happy birthday, Hooters. So go to Hooters right now. Use code Barstool23 for $5 off your order of $15 or more, or check out the home team spread. It's a lot of food, and it looks awesome. So go watch some football and go to Hooters. Okay, hot seat, cool throne, Hank.
My hot seat is California.
There you go.
California.
Yes. Today there was a report that California will ban Skittles and other candies from the state starting in
What
2027.
the fuck?
What?
Newsom signed a bill, also known as the California Food Safety Act. So that I wrote earlier, and then I went to double check to copy and paste the verbiage, and there was a community notes update that said, this is not banning Skittles and other items listed. It is forcing the manufacturers to change the formula to remove the harmful additives listed. So
This is fucking Bloomberg.
it's like, yeah, it's like Four Loko. Like it's not fully banned, but they're basically just taking out the good stuff. It's actually worse.
So they're banning brominated vegetable oil. That's my favorite thing in the world.
Yep.
They can take that for my wet, slippery hands. Potassium bromate, also a fan favorite.
Bromate?
Potassium bromate. That's for the boys.
Yes.
Propylparaben and red dye number 3.
Taking away our purple paraben.
Yeah, and red dye number 3.
That's
which is-
everything.
We should make T-shirts. You
Free.
can't take my purple paraben over my. Yeah, you can come and have it.
Come and take it.
Come and take it.
Try this in a small
Shoot
town.
guns.
Try this in California.
Yeah, take my purple paraben.
Yeah, it's
This is
basically
bullshit.
it's like going to like Europe or something, and like the candies and like
Although
McDonald's
that's-
and stuff
Food
tastes
sucks in
worse.
Europe. Yeah.
Isn't that like the whole thing that like Europe doesn't put all this shit in their food, and that's why Europeans are in better health?
But their candy sucks.
If anybody
Good
knows
point,
anything
good point,
about
good
French people, it's they've got terrible food.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of shit in our food. I think we don't realize.
Yeah, the red dye stuff's bad, but like
I'm not going to eat the bugs. I just want to say that right
just
now.
ban the candy if that's the case.
This is a message for Gavin Newsom and your fucking little parties of French Laundry. I'm not eating the bugs.
Shout out Jack Mac.
Shout out Jack Mac.
Yeah,
Jack Mac
back.
was the first one to tell me that they're going to try to get us to eat the bugs. We won't eat the bugs.
Have you ever eaten bugs?
No, I won't.
I've eaten crickets.
You see, you're part of the problem.
I'm a big part of the problem.
Listen, this podcast, as a statement,
It's cricket flour and it was chocolate chip cookies.
I think we all need to stand right now and say we're not going to eat the bugs.
I'm not going to eat bugs. I'm not
You
going to
eat the bugs?
No.
Jake, are you going to eat the bugs?
Never.
Max, will you eat the
I
bugs?
certainly will not.
Okay, we're not going to eat the bugs. I love that they're trying to get us to eat bugs. It's my favorite deep state theory. Okay.
Run out of food. My other hot seat was Live Golf.
Uh-oh.
The official golf world ranking has chosen to just ignore Live Golf as a real sport or league.
Yeah.
Shit.
So Live Golf players are not going to be able to qualify for majors and things like that.
It's tough when you have players winning majors.
Not a problem for Brooks. but
Yeah.
pretty
Because
much
he's
like the
already
Peter Uihleins of the world.
Who's
not
what team
great.
is he on?
He's on the 4 Aces.
And who else is on that team?
Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Pat Perez.
Okay, yeah, it's a problem for them when you have live golf players that are winning majors to then say that the tour that they play on doesn't produce players that are good enough to compete in majors. That logically that doesn't make a lot of
That's
sense.
a fact. That's a fact.
Whatever happened with the merger?
It's coming.
Yeah. It's like it was the talk of the sports world.
Yeah, they just did it, and then they're like, yeah, it's coming. Don't worry.
Mhm.
We're totally going to merge. PFT, your hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat.
Did you not have a cool throne?
It was debates. Which
Oh,
one we
sorry.
talked
I
about.
forgot.
That's good. That was good.
Two hot. What's your debates?
Aaron Rodgers and Travis Kelce.
Oh, okay. Where do you side on that? I got the flu shot today.
Oh yeah,
Same.
Forgotten it.
Yeah, Hank and I did.
that's
Max
good.
boys,
That's
yeah.
good. Max didn't get it.
No, I probably should have.
Yeah.
It wouldn't solve anything.
No.
You had the
I-
flu for 6 months.
I feel pretty good this. I just thought about that. Maybe it's something in Chicago.
Oh.
I haven't been coughing at all this
Oh.
week.
You might be allergic. You
Maybe
haven't-
it's that. It could be something in that office.
It's definitely in that
Yeah.
office.
That-
100%.
once we get to the new office.
2 weeks.
I
You're allergic to Malort, Max.
real dad joke, terrible joke that I love to do every time I get the flu shot. Hank saw me say this. I was like, "You guys think you nailed it this year?" Because they have to guess the strain, And the guy was like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think we got a good one. Like, okay, cool.
I didn't know that was the thing. I didn't know it was a guess.
Yeah, it was. There's like a few, and they have to like.
What if you wait until later on in the season? Then can they update and they know the
I
strain?
don't know if they update it, but yeah, there's a chance that I got a shot today that does absolutely nothing.
All right. Congrats.
Most of them do.
There you go, Hank.
I'm just kidding.
My hot seat is literally hand warmers. So I got a DM yesterday. I have no idea how we did not know this on the podcast. This is from Coach Knight. He DM'd me. Did you know?
Hobby night?
I don't know. I don't know who it was. But did you know who invented the hand warmer?
Hitler.
Mark Davis,
Whoa.
the owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, he got rich?
Invented the hand warmer. No, he got rich because he was the son of Al Davis.
Ah.
So,
Good old-fashioned way.
yeah, exactly. Hard work. Mark Davis developed the muff in that's what they called it, was a muff initially, in 1986. That's not a bonk. That's a bonk on you for thinking that muff.
Said Mark Davis and Muff.
So Mark Davis, there was some Mark Davis and muff on TV last night too.
Yes.
He invented it in 1986 for use by professional football teams, and that year Davis began to market them for the fans. They cost about $30 when they first were introduced to the market, and yeah, it was reported in the New York Times. Mark Davis invented the hand warmer.
Did you? That's insane.
I don't know about.
Look it up.
You don't think skiers were using this before?
Look it up, Hank.
You got to patent it. Did you see Mark Davis playing slots at the airport, waiting for his girlfriend to show up?
Yep,
Awesome.
She looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like a fun hang.
fun hang. Orianthe?
Is that her name?
Yeah, she's an Australian singer.
Oh, okay. Good for him.
Orianthe?
Good
Either
for
way.
Mark Davis. Mark Davis pulls.
Yeah, dude. And that's a
Yeah.
king move to just be sitting there waiting. Who doesn't want to get greeted at the airport?
Yeah.
While your boyfriend just.
I thought they're only through security, the slots.
Oh, he doesn't have to go.
No,
He can go through. He can walk wherever he wants.
no. There's
Mark
some.
Davis.
There's some
Some
down in
pre-security.
baggage claim too. I think there.
Gotcha.
You have to hit the slots in Vegas on your way out.
Have to.
That's the best move because you never know. That's your last chance.
It's facts.
But yeah, Mark Davis invented the hand warmer.
That's awesome.
So
It's better than Bobby Valentine
What
invented.
about Nietzsche Matoba,
I don't know much about Nietzsche.
1912?
Didn't take any philosophy.
Well,
classes.
was he American?
Does that matter?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
Why not?
if he wasn't American, then he didn't invent it. That's how America.
He invented.
Hand and foot warmer was first patented by Jonathan T. Ellis of New Jersey in 1891.
that counts.
Mark
Americans
Davis
invented the world.
hand warmer. If you look it up, it's in the New York Times.
I'm on Wikipedia for hand warmer. Mark Davis's name is nowhere to be found.
Oh no, PFT.
No, I'm looking I'm literally looking right
You don't
now.
trust the New York Times.
I'm looking at Twitter. Do you trust X?
No.
yes.
.com?
Yes, 100%.
X.com.
You know what?
My favorite fun fact
about
about Mark Davis is that in 1986 he invented the muff style hand warmer. It's the muff style hand.
Wait, so it's not the New York Times. It's a Twitter account.
And the New York Times is first. We're talking about two different kinds of hand warmers, Hank. You're talking about the ones that you put in your pocket. I'm talking about the ones that like quarterbacks wear.
Oh,
The football ones.
Football ones.
Got it.
Mark Davis invented that.
we need Jack Mac to make a TikTok, and then it'll be fact.
Okay, it's a fact right now. But we'll wait for
I
confirmation.
like it.
My cool throne is Seinfeld.
Oh,
Jerry Seinfeld is teasing a Seinfeld reboot, or at least an update to the last episode, because I think he's
Sucks.
upset with how
I
it
liked
ended.
the last episode.
I actually didn't mind it. There's no good way to end that series.
I liked how they brought everyone back.
what was?
Because they brought everyone back, and it's a show that ultimately didn't have that much of a plot to it, and nothing really changed. And then that's the only way that they can end it.
It would be impossible to do a last episode. Like, imagine us doing a last episode. We couldn't do it.
You couldn't pull
It
it
wouldn't
off.
be good. No one would like it.
No. Well, it would just have to be like me and Big Cat saying all the stuff that would get us thrown off the airwaves, thrown off the internet.
Only way people would and then you'd have to die. And then people are like, well,
Yeah, it would have
got
to
to
be
enjoy
fire.
the last one because we're never getting another one.
The last episode would actually just be the sound of a fire in the studio.
76 million people watched the Seinfeld finale.
It's pretty good.
That's insane.
So of course,
30 million probably liked it.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
so of course they're going to try to reboot it and bring it back. I don't know what else they could do with the plot lines in it.
Well, they could. You know what they should do is they should reboot it, and it should be based on Larry David, and he gets into like awkward like exchanges all the time.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So that George from Seinfeld is actually like very close based to Larry David.
Yeah. We did know that.
We didn't know that.
Or Jerry.
You know that Did Larry David play George Steinbrenner?
No.
Seinfeld. You didn't?
No.
He also played the man wearing the cape on the sidewalk that Mr. Costanza saw one time. That was Larry David.
Larry David had George Steinbrenner, and they were trying to get him to like do the lines, and he couldn't do it well enough, and they were just like, let's just have Larry David do it.
And knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
No disrespect.
They should have Jerry dating Julia Louis-Dreyfus's daughter,
Oh,
picking her up from high school.
yeah, Central Park.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And like, isn't Kramer?
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Kramer,
You can't have like.
That'd be
You
tough.
can't remake that show without Kramer.
could you bring Kramer back?
That's what I'm asking.
you should get him on Wake Up Mincy.
Probably not bring him back. Yeah.
All right, wait, was that your cool turn?
That's my cool.
Yeah, that
front.
was your cool turn. I'll watch it.
Everyone would watch it.
Yeah, we'd all watch it. Okay, my hot seat is LeBron James. So they did a executives blind poll for the upcoming NBA season. A bunch of questions: who did the best in the offseason, who best defender, all this stuff. They had a poll: which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line? Number 1 was Steph Curry. Number 2 was Kevin Durant. Number 3 was Damian Lillard. Number 4 was Jimmy Butler. Number 4 tied was Jokic. Also receiving votes: Luka, Kyrie Irving. LeBron James wasn't there.
Interesting. No playoff
Passing
P
the
either.
torch.
Jason
Passing
Tatum
the
either.
torch.
Playoff
Oh,
P.
Jason Tatum.
Playoff P says that he's going to be back on his bully shit this year.
Oh,
I
fuck.
have that reminder set for
Yeah, so we're going to
April.
check in to see if he's back on his
Back
bully
on
shit. in
bully
April.
shit.
But yeah, LeBron getting left off that list, that seems personal.
Yeah, it does. He's going to have to use that. He's going to go to 0 dark 30.
Yep.
And then my cool throne is tight ends for the Dallas Cowboys. So we predicted this, obviously, on Sunday. We shouldn't get credit for predicting this because it was just a fact that we were stating. But Jerry Jones was going to go on radio and say something ridiculous.
Mhm.
And guess what? Jerry Jones went on radio and said something ridiculous on 105.3, the local Dallas radio station.
I think we even predicted the radio station.
Yeah, right.
Say it on.
They asked him about getting CeeDee Lamb more involved, and Jerry Jones said, I don't know about that. I like seeing the ball go to tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, your star wide receiver that is a mismatch. Nope. Let's go tight ends.
Jerry loved Jason Witten. Jerry's been searching for Jason Witten since he went back into robot form and elevated up into the booth. He misses Jason. He misses just like a big, strong guy that's not going to run away from anybody, that'll get like 110 catches
Yeah.
and just park his ass down 1 yard past the first down line.
Maybe he has one of my guy, Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson's pretty good.
Gary Alvarez's grandson.
Yeah, I always forget that.
I do not, because it was mentioned every time Wisconsin played football. But yeah, Jerry Jones, he wants to run the Iowa offense.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
No wide receivers,
Do it,
just
Jerry.
tight ends. All right, Jake, finish us off. Hot seat, cool throne.
My hot seat is the future of certain NFL teams because you reminded us to do a bleakest draft
Oh,
for certain NFL teams on this episode.
for NFL franchise for the
The
future.
future of certain NFL teams.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know if you guys wanted to do like a rapid fire one or bookmark it for later.
So I did a poll. Let me try to find it.
We could do a draft. Everyone gets
Speed draft.
2 teams.
2 teams, speed draft. Jake, go.
Panthers.
Okay.
The New England Patriots.
Panda.
I'll take the Denver Broncos.
I get 2.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go Chicago Bears.
What?
Washington
You have
football
2
team.
picks.
What are the Commanders, Hank?
All right, I'll do the Giants.
Hank's being a real dick today.
He is. He's hater Hank.
I'm actually going to go with the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, I like it.
Just strictly based on what we saw on Monday night.
Okay, Jake.
I'm going to go with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Good pick. I should have taken the Raiders.
All right, so put that on.
Although they beat the Packers.
You guys just talked for an hour about how good
It
they
did, but future.
Put that on a graphic and then have people vote who won the draft.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually, you know what? The Kansas City Chiefs would be on there because eventually Patrick Mahomes will retire.
Well, yeah, future is open ended.
Right.
Nothing's going to be
And
as
that
good
nothing
as
will be as good as Patrick Mahomes.
But they could have a Rodgers to Favre to Rodgers.
No one's going to be as good as Patrick Mahomes, so it's like it kind of sucks to be a Chiefs fan Because eventually he will retire.
No, you're still living in the moment right now.
We could spin anything on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to our interview with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Before we do that, PFT, you got a quick word from one of our sponsors?
Yes, before we get to Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's brought to you by Body Armor. That's right. I'm drinking Body Armor right now, right at this very second. I'm slugging some Body Armor. They sponsor every interview that we do. They keep us fueled up. They keep us hydrated. They taste great. I've got the water. The water quenches your thirst so fast. During these interviews, we're drinking Body Armor. They keep us hydrated with the biggest guests in the world. They're packed with electrolytes and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Body Armor hydrates the best athletes in the world and, more importantly, us during interviews. Buy Body Armor today. Visit the Body Armor Amazon store or retailers nationwide. Available in stores nationwide. Head on over to the Body Armor store on Amazon and get yours today. And now, here's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay, we now welcome on one of our favorite guests, recurring guest. You can see him on Thursday Night Football, pre- and post-game, Amazon Prime, and at halftime. It is Ryan Fitzpatrick, Thursday Night Football. You also get to see it this year on Black Friday, Jets-Dolphins, so it's going to be great. Fitz, we wanted to start. Actually, I wanted to start with something. You are everywhere. You are literally everywhere. You're in a million commercials. Is there a part of you that's like, hey, why wasn't this happening when I was still playing? Because I feel like your star has gotten bigger, and I wanted more respect for you as a player.
No, I think the timing's just right.
Okay.
Because people didn't want me to be advertising pizza and betting and then have a horrible game and be like, oh my God, like, why did we pick this guy? So I think it's a little bit easier now that I can't really screw up that bad. I just get to talk about stuff. And then after it happens, just like we talked about last time I was with you guys, you just deny that you ever said it, or you move on and you make another outrageous take and you just hope that it happens. Like me picking the Bears, by the way, against the Commanders, I felt pretty good about on Thursday night. Sorry, BFT.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up. I took that personal, but I would have done the same thing. I actually did pick the Bears to beat the Commanders. Tried to reverse jinx myself. Didn't work. So you mentioned, if you were still playing, that you wouldn't want to be all over TV. Got to ask right off the bat, have the New York Jets given you a call this year?
No, I am done. And I've always thought about, if I were to return, Roger Goodell's face, me, say, throwing a touchdown for the Jets, and then my DraftKings promo coming up, with all the issues we've had with the NFL and gambling. I think that would be interesting to see what he would do about that.
Right. So you don't want to come back, but has anybody tried to get you back?
No, I'm not going to pull the RG3. There was a mysterious. No, I am officially done. Haven't fielded any phone calls in the last year and a half, 2 years.
So you've been doing this now for over a year. I think we gave you some media training when you first started. You had your first moment, I think, where a player was like, "Hey, why'd you say that about me?" With our friend Jared Goff, our personal friend who we love. Do you regret calling him a poor man's Matt Ryan? Because he did, credit to Jared, he got you right away. He was just like, I'm a poor man's what? Do you know how much money that guy's made? He's not poor.
Yeah. No, he's not poor. It was a good moment, and good for Jared to do that. I knew you were going to ask me this. I'm going to paraphrase what I said about this real quick, okay? I just wrote it down.
Okay.
I was talking to Tony. I said, he reminds me a lot of your former QB, maybe a poor man's Matt Ryan. And then Sherm gives the sheesh, and I said, look, it's not a slight on him. Matt's a great quarterback. I said, Jared's great at the play action. He's great when you give him time. Get after him a little bit, speed up his clock. My last thing that I said, he's playing great right now. He's a guy that's resilient, and I root for a guy like that. So then the PR team for Detroit says, hey, Jared, Fitz called you a poor man's, and he just kind of got after me, and good for him. I love that he did, but this whole thing got twisted because I'm actually a fan of Jared Goff. I just didn't want to disrespect Matt Ryan.
It doesn't sound like you're a fan of him. We're fans of him. We would die for him.
There were a lot of qualifiers he used there, like when he's got time.
Or right now.
Right now, on play action.
Who's a better quarterback? I mean, Matt Ryan had a longer career. Let's say 8 years into Matt Ryan's career, you take it Matt Ryan or Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, no
He's
question. See
great
how
guy.
easy that
Love
was?
it. Easy
See how
answer.
easy
Yeah,
that
that's
was?
huge.
Great friend.
It's pretty
That's
easy
huge.
for us because if we're friends with someone, we will just say that we will never. The
I
key,
love that.
the key to doing it, if you become really good friends with someone and they have a bad game or a bad couple of games, you just pretend those games didn't exist and you never address the problem. And then you have people call you a coward, and then you say, well, when he plays well, I will talk about how great he is.
Who would you take as your quarterback? Blake Bortles in his prime or Jared Goff?
I would shoot myself in the head before I
Yeah.
made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do that
that's
to either
smart.
one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the league right now. In this season, I feel like we're starting to get to that point of the season where we're starting to figure out who the great teams are, and everything's starting to level out. Right now, I made this statement. I want to hear what you have to say. Will you give me your top 4 teams in the NFC?
Okay, I'm glad you started with that because the AFC is just a shit show
It
right
is.
now.
Yes.
We can't figure that one out. San Fran,
Okay.
obviously.
Yeah.
Philadelphia,
Yeah.
the 2 undefeated teams. My boy Jared Goff and his Lions.
Good answer.
You know, I'm going to throw them up there because I love the way he plays. I think he's a great leader, great quarterback.
Right now.
Right?
In play action.
Let's see. You
This
guys
is
are going to have
tough.
to help me.
This is
The
tough.
4th best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bears are on a 1-game winning streak.
Fact.
So,
True.
Fact. They've won the most games you could
Potentially.
possibly win in week 5.
yeah, let me look at. Just let me make sure I don't screw this up. Can you guys fill some time here?
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
asked you. I'll tell you why. I asked you the 4 teams because this is where the cliff goes. It really is. Those 3 teams feel like they're ahead of everyone else, and finding that 4th
Right.
team is going to be a very interesting question.
Well,
You want to
here's
say
one.
Dallas, but
I would say I'm going to say Seattle.
okay.
Okay, I
I'm
think.
going to say Seattle.
Yeah, I think it's between Seattle, Dallas, and I actually think the Bucks. Weirdly, like I know I do a thing where if there's a bye week, I just forget that they exist. Like I don't even know, like you just forget, hey, they're actually playing football. But the Bucks, I mean, your former team, do you believe in the Bucks and what Baker's doing? Because we're rooting for Baker, especially the redemption arc.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the Bucks have a little bit more to them than just one of those like middle of the pack teams. They could make some noise.
Yeah, and I would say too, my former coach from a different franchise, Todd Bowles. I just think he's so aggressive. He's got that defense playing so well. And then you look at the NFC South, who's going to make it out of there. They are going to start beating each other up a little bit, but I like Tampa, man. I do. And I root for Baker. Poor man's, who could he be?
Baker
No,
Mayfield.
I think, you know what, like Baker's great because we had him last year on Thursday night. That was when he was in LA for 36, 48 hours, stepped off the plane, didn't have the greatest game, but what do you expect? And then all of a sudden he gets the ball at the end and they drive it down and beat Vegas on the last second touchdown.
So I have a question real quick about Baker specifically, because you and Baker, maybe not the same quarterback, but I think you have one of the same qualities, and you can tell me how important this is for a locker room. Baker's a tough motherfucker. Like, you can tell that he's a tough guy, and teammates respect that. Is that, when it comes to quarterback play, how high on the list does that matter for your team and the locker room? Obviously, playing great quarterback is number one, but that toughness and everyone looking to you being like, hey, the quarterback position gets ref totally differently. Sometimes it's a little soft, but having a tough guy there, how much does that play into the team, like building around him?
I would say when you bounce around a lot, when you go from team to team, that's something that wins you instant respect. And so for a guy like Baker that the last few years has bounced around locker rooms, for him to show up and for them to see that and for them to see the fight in him every week, like that wins over a locker room. And that's why, whether he stays in Tampa or not, as he continues to maybe bounce around, he's going to have the respect of his teammates everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Week 1, I saw against the Vikings, he put his head down on a couple runs that he didn't have to finish. He could have gone out of bounds. He could have slid, and he was initiating contact, kind of like you used to do when you see the smallest defensive back on the team, and you're like, yeah, I'm about to get my highlight reel clip right now. I'm going to run at that guy. He weighs 170 pounds. Baker was initiating contact, and his teammates were just loving it. They were loving everything he was doing. At that point, I was like, I think Baker's the leader of this team, It's been cool to see him come back a little bit because, people wrote him off for a while. Cleveland wrote him off, certainly. Here's another little media tip for you, though, Ryan. What we can do is we can do Ryan Fitzpatrick's top 4 quarterbacks, and you're going to leave off a really good quarterback in your top 4 quarterbacks, and then people are going to get very mad at you for disrespecting their guy. So top 4 quarterbacks this year.
All right, I'm just going to look at all the teams so I don't. Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Safe. Yeah, good pick.
Josh Allen.
Okay.
Well, Patrick Mahomes got outdueled by Zach Wilson.
I've got 2 more.
I'm
going to go with. Oh, people are going to be furious. Tua and Brock Purdy.
No Jalen Hurts.
Lamar.
I like your Brock Purdy take because we've been saying for the last couple of weeks it's time to say that Brock Purdy is just really good at football. It's like the system helps, but he's really good.
But we've all been waiting for but he's going to have a bad game here. He's going to fall off the cliff. Like, it hasn't happened. He's an absolute machine.
And when you're watching Brock Purdy, can you explain to us? Because it's crazy to me that there still is this disconnect that people are like, oh, well, the Niners are so goddamn good. Probably you could drop a lot of quarterbacks in there and have success. But Brock Purdy fits perfectly with that team, and he's playing such great football right now. Why can't people just accept that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is like, look at Trey Lance struggled in that system, right? He got a chance. They didn't love Jimmy. Jimmy played well in that system, but when you watch Brock Purdy play, how many throws does he miss? Not many. And the other thing is the processing ability of him. Read 1, read 2, read 3. Every time he makes a decision to scramble outside the pocket, like, the guy is almost perfect in the way that he thinks about the game, and his mind just computes what's happening. So it's an amazing thing. Yes, it's easy to play quarterback when you can throw a screen pass and it goes for 50 yards, or you can hand the ball off and you're getting 10 yards a run. But this guy, he's throwing the ball down the field. It's not check down fest like we see with some of these other quarterbacks get to 70%, 68% completion. This dude's throwing the ball down the field, and he's so accurate with the football. It's perfect for what Shanahan needs in that offense.
Yeah, I think the processing is the part that people can't comprehend because we want to see the big throws. We want to see the crazy wow plays. But like the ability to think the game it doesn't always show up on the film, and he's just playing so well. I don't understand why people can't give him that credit.
This is also what I keep saying about the kid. Like, think about last year. He was the 4th-string quarterback behind Nate Sudfeld. Do you know how many reps the 4th-string quarterback gets? None. The 3rd string, not many. So, like, he was battling. We had him in their last preseason game where it was like, gosh, is he going to make the team or not? They just gave Nate Sudfeld $2 million, and they essentially liked him enough that they're like, you know what? We'll keep him on the team as a 3. But, like, he didn't get any reps last year.
Right.
And then he came in and won all those games and won those playoff games. It's unbelievable what he's doing. We have to point to maybe Iowa State in his career there and all the games that he played, but him up here, he's on a different level than most other quarterbacks in the league.
We should talk also about the UCL surgery he had. He came back better after that. It's kind of crazy. It's like rookie of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I mean, if you get stuck like this, now I will say he doesn't have the strongest arm. And that's another thing that you point to his maturity. One of the biggest things about quarterback play is like knowing your strengths and weaknesses. And that was probably one of my biggest issues over my career. I didn't have any weaknesses in my mind. So, that's but Brock knows his weaknesses. He knows his strengths. He knows what he's good at, and he knows that he can't throw the ball 70 yards. So he's not trying to make some of those plays that you'll see Josh or Herbert or some of those strong arm guys make.
Yeah. So you brought up not knowing your own weaknesses. You were a little bit of a gunslinger. Brings me to my next question. We had this debate on Sunday. CJ Stroud's been phenomenal. Hasn't thrown an interception. Broke the record. 5 games. Rookie. No interceptions. But at one point, does he need to throw an interception so that people like us aren't being like, he doesn't take the risks? Is there such thing as a good interception so that people can't be like, well, he's clearly not taking any risks? Like I was saying, I want him to throw an old-fashioned like Cutler interception, triple coverage, try to throw it 3,000 miles an hour and have it be picked.
Right. Well, even in the Bills Jaguars game, and Josh has done this a couple times this year, it's 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And he makes the throw to Diggs all the way down to the 5-yard line. It turns into a punt basically, but it gets picked off. That's the kind of stuff, like those are okay. You don't need to to fear throwing an interception like that. But I'll tell you what, like he's not just check down fest either. He puts the ball down the field. And when you talk about guys that just look pretty when they're throwing the football, the way that thing comes out of his hand, effortless, like Stroud is unbelievable. Just like total combine quarterback. When you look at him, everything is perfect. And I was surprised. I know we can second guess now, and we'll see what happens 10 years down the road, but I was surprised he wasn't the first pick.
Yeah. Well, Bryce Young ordered scallops and a salad, and that very much impressed Tepper, the owner of the Panthers. So
I see that. Yeah.
That's why he went with Bryce Young. Let's get to the AFC, and we'll do your teams in the AFC. Before we do, one more question, though, about my Commanders. You were a Washington football team legend. You were a football team for about a quarter of a game.
15 plays.
15 plays. You've got a deep – your roots run deep with that franchise. Sam Howell has impressed me as being a tough motherfucker too, and he's making some good throws. Do you think that Sam Howell has the opportunity to develop into a good enough quarterback to make the Commanders not want to go out and get one in the draft next year?
There's no doubt. And I think he's already there. Obviously, he has to continue to play consistently, but what they're putting on his plate already at such a young age. I mean, what was the stat? They threw 50 plus consecutive passes in that game. He's tough. He's won over his teammates. He's not afraid to put the ball down the field. He has all of these different elements in a quarterback that you love. Plus, he's accurate. I mean, if you look at his stats, like completion percentage and what they're asking him to do, spreading the ball around to that offense, I really like how his aggressiveness and Bieniemy's aggressiveness kind of marry each other. I think that's going to be a good relationship the next few years. But I'm in on Sam Howell, and part of it, like you said, is the toughness factor. But part of it too, he stays like this all the time. When I was talking to guys before the game, that was what they kept saying. Like you can't. Like it's almost like he doesn't have a heartbeat, which is a really important thing as a quarterback, just to always stay level. But I'm all in on Sam Howell. I like watching him play.
Love it.
Yeah. All right. The AFC. Let's talk about the AFC. The Chiefs. The Chiefs. They do enough just so that people can poke holes in them, but they're the Chiefs. They're fucking incredible. They'll be there at the end. The Dolphins, your former team, they're playing incredible. You can see them on Black Friday with Amazon Prime. How do you feel about an offense that is this explosive going into later in the season? Is there a point where you get concerned like, hey, not every game is going to be able to just have guys running wild. Teams are going to start adjusting. How does that play out when you see the season going forward?
It's just a weird, some of these AFC teams, it's about matchups and division rivalries. And we thought we had it all figured out once they scored 70. Miami was the best team in football, and they go play Buffalo and lose 48-20. And it's a head scratcher. That being said, I mean, a big part of Miami's success later in the year and in the playoffs, if they want to go deep, is going to be having home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a big part for them because it is different. Once you get into that cold weather, those hits hurt a little bit more. It's a little less of a finesse game and a little more of an old school, rough and tough type game. So they're going to continue to blow out inferior opponents. And then those, when they play the Bills again, that'll be a big game, but they've just got to make sure that they can maintain home field advantage because that's going to be their ticket probably to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're rooting for the Bills again this year, or was that a one-time thing where you're taking your shirt off in the playoff games? Nipples were very, very hard.
Yeah, they felt great. I'm definitely a Bills fan. I mean, it's funny. People ask me that all the time. My team is Buffalo for sure. I also root for individual players. There's plenty of guys that I root for. But Buffalo is definitely my team.
What about the Ravens? Their game against the Steelers, classic Ravens-Steelers game. But talk to me about how Lamar plays a game good enough to win, and his wide receivers kind of let him down. What does that look like in the locker room, in the meetings room that week, where it's like the receivers know that if they had made a couple catches, that game is like a 3-score game going in the fourth quarter, and there's no chance for the Steelers defense to be able to get them back in the game?
It was disappointing to see some of those drops, but it really is. It's like the cliche, like the week to week. It really is such a week to week proposition. I mean, if you look at the Steelers 2 weeks ago, it was like, okay, they're done. Officially, they're done. They didn't get after CJ Stroud. They lost to Houston. Then they come back and win that game. What I've said all along about the Ravens is they're going to be really difficult in the postseason. And the reason why is they're just going to continue to get better on offense. Hopefully something like this, you learn from it and it catapults you and makes you better. But they're a good enough team to where they still have to figure things out with Todd Monken. Lamar's still figuring things out in his system. Todd's still figuring out Lamar as a quarterback, but they're good enough to where they're going to get to the playoffs. Their defense is good enough. Their run game is good enough. So as they continue to improve throughout the season, they're going to be a really dangerous team at the end of the year.
Fitzy is being brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. Pardon My Cheesesteak has just unleashed a menu that will have your mouth watering in no time. Hold on to your taste receptors because we're introducing the stars of the show, the Chicken Bacon Ranch Cheesesteak, the Irresistible Chicken Tenders, and the monumental Big Cat Combo. That's right, whether you're a cheesesteak aficionado, a finger food enthusiast, or simply someone who values the art of comfort cuisine, this menu has something for everyone. We went to the Pardon My Cheesesteak at FedEx Field in Maryland for the Commanders-Bears game. They're great, and if you're in the stadium, nothing better than a Pardon My Cheesesteak. Super easy to eat, super filling, great food. Order now on pardonmycheesesteak.com. Also available on Uber Eats. And now, here's more Ryan Fitzpatrick. I agree. The Ravens always seem like they get better, especially when they get physical and they can just push you around once the weather turns a little bit cold. What about Denver? Can you talk to me about Russell Wilson? Because our take on Russell Wilson, here's our analysis. He stinks. He sucks. He's ass.
He fumbles very funny, though.
Yeah.
I love his fumbles.
He, like when his tiny little legs start to run really fast, but he's not actually moving that fast.
Yeah.
And they catch up behind and he drops the ball. That's funny for us. But from an actual analyst perspective, what has been wrong with Russell Wilson and is it fixable?
Well, it's funny because if you look statistically this year, he's got the touchdowns. He only has 2 interceptions. Statistically, his QB rating's over 100. But then you take a deeper dive. You look at his relationship with Sean Payton and how already you're getting the eye rolls and all that. But this is 2 years in a row now. An offensive-minded coach has been brought in for Russ, and it just hasn't really gone well. So I've got a guy that sits to my left on Thursday Night Football and Richard Sherman that has a lot of opinions on Russell Wilson. And I'm sure you're going to hear some of them on Thursday night. But, Russell's first, 10 years of his career in Seattle, it's hard to take away from the wins and the things that he accomplished. But somebody asked me this the other day, and I think it's true. If that was a Hall of Fame career, those first 10 years and winning the Super Bowl and all those wins, it does feel like he's playing himself out of consideration the last few years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not been good. This is a dumb question because we obviously consume the game as fans, and you said earlier it's week-to-week league. How do you actually do a week-to-week league in the fact that, like, if a team loses 2 games, I basically am like, that team sucks forever. And if a team wins 1 game, like, they're back, they're incredible. How do you guys actually compartmentalize and do week-to-week league? And were there times in your career or times when you're, covering these teams and talking to these guys where you can sense, like, they're still hurting from the last week, or they're riding high and they're probably not, they shouldn't be riding that high?
I think the Commanders are a very good example of that, to where you don't know what team is going to show up.
Right.
Because they're the team that can beat Philly last year or take them to overtime this year. And they're the team that can look like they don't belong on the field with the Bears.
Yeah.
And it really is. So there are certain teams that are week-to-week teams. Which one am I getting? And that's the impressive thing that I found about Detroit this year is they flipped that switch about midway through last year to where even the first game of the year on Thursday versus Kansas City, they didn't play their A game and they beat Kansas City. So Detroit has now flipped this switch to, we need to go out there and play well. But if we don't play well, we can still beat these teams. And some of it is the way they're built. San Francisco, Philly, Detroit, good offensive lines, being able to run the ball. But yeah, the Arizona Cardinals are a prime example of the team where you're afraid of to play every week.
Yeah.
You just don't know who's going to show up. They're sitting at 1-4, but they've kind of been in every game. And so that's, I guess, those are good examples of the week-to-week league.
Are you a tush push guy?
I like a good tush push.
Okay,
you know?
good.
Who
All
doesn't?
right. Well,
yeah.
I hate the people complaining. I hope you're on our side, that it's like, it's a football play that is unstoppable right now, but that's what football is. Find a way to beat it.
I have this argument all the time with Sherm. And Sherm doesn't love the tush push, but he's a defensive guy. How do you stop the tush push? Okay. If the tush push is going to work 95% of the time, then they're getting the first down. So if it's 3rd and 1, they're going to do the tush push. Why are you not taking your biggest defender and having him try to time out the snap count and just blow up the center and the quarterback?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, that's a 5-yard penalty. They get the first down. But then next time they're like, oh my God, this is going to happen again. And Jason Kelsey's going to be like, look, we got to stop calling this play. I don't want to get, my ass blown up every time we get in this formation. There are certain ways that you can probably stop it if you're willing to just give up the first down.
That's
right.
That's a great idea. That's the best idea that I've heard. Yeah, you send a message. If you get it right, then you can stop the play legally. If you mistime it, then Kelsey, it's like the same thing when we talk about hitting the quarterback, making them uncomfortable in the pocket. Make Jason Kelsey uncomfortable in the pocket.
Yeah, and you guys have seen Troy Polamalu back in the day. Anytime he thought it was a quarterback sneak, he was jumping over the pile and trying to time it out. Whether he was right or not, the quarterback was going to get hit.
Yeah.
So it's to me, that would be my solution if I was a defensive coach.
We could put 12 guys on the field on defense and hope they don't see it. And then if they see it, too many men, first down anyways, but maybe you get away with it.
Yeah. I like it.
We're smart.
Yeah, we are smart. We're
very
football smart.
smart.
I got a non-NFL question. You went to Harvard. People don't know that, but you did.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, he went to Harvard.
The school?
Yeah, I attended Harvard.
Do you ever wish you went somewhere else when you watch these big football games? When you watch like Red River Shootout and Rivalry, and you watch these big SEC games or Big Ten games? And was there times in the locker room where like guys were making silly bets or talking shit to each other? You're like, damn, I'm a nerd. I went to Harvard. No one wants to talk to me.
Well, I mean, you're not allowed to bet in the locker room, as you know.
Well,
so there's
fun
never
bets.
any betting.
Fun bets. Fun bets. You
Never
wear
any
the
betting going
jersey. I wear the jersey.
I will say that. So no, I never. I got my fill in the NFL. I never really thought too much about that. But I will say now, nobody really cares about Ivy League football. But there are a bunch of guys in the Ivy League, Harvard in particular. They will play their 4 years. Usually you don't play as a freshman at Harvard, but they'll play their 4 years. They'll graduate from Harvard, and then they'll enter the transfer portal, and they'll go play big-time football for 1 year. Whether we've had guys at LSU, I don't know all the universities off the top of my head, but 7 or 8 guys every year now are graduating and going to get their fix of 1 year big-time football, whether it's offensive line or playing special teams or actually contributing, which is a pretty cool deal.
Yeah. So would you have done that if you had that opportunity?
Yeah, because I definitely, if that was available to me, I definitely would have done that, because people said maybe I was going to get drafted, but I didn't know that I was actually going to get drafted. So to be able to go to a big time school and play for a year, I think that would have been awesome.
Okay, so what school? So we can be like headline
honorary
Fitzpatrick would have gone here.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, coming out, like if I had to pick, like it would have had academic ties to it. So Northwestern, Notre Dame, Stanford, Duke. Yeah. It's not too exciting.
That's not
I don't know
fun
what to tell you.
Yeah, you would have went nerd to nerd.
What if you got to Arizona State and you just go buck wild?
That would have been cool.
If Arizona State would have offered me coming out of high school, I would have gone there, which is like, thank God they didn't offer me. But that was, I grew up, both my parents went to Arizona State. I grew up in the Jake Plummer years. I was all in.
Yeah.
But they picked Chad Christensen, another in-state kid, over me.
You're the smartest person ever to go to school there.
Yeah, you could have graduated from Harvard and then gone to Arizona State, played football, and been like the dean of the whole school.
Well, Al Michaels went there, so I mean, he's the smartest man to ever come out of Arizona State.
That's a fact. He doesn't eat a vegetable. Have you seen him eat a vegetable?
I have. I've tried to sneak it on his plate. I learned early though not to mess with the vegetable thing. It is a fact. He will not. He's eating steak. That's it.
It's incredible. Al Michaels is essentially like, I mean, my kids don't like to eat vegetables. He basically is like a 4-year-old in a grown-up body, where he's like, yeah, I decided a long time ago I don't eat vegetables, and guess what? You can't tell me different. I can go to bed whenever I want. I can eat ice cream whenever I want. You can't hold
Yeah,
this
now
over me.
my kids now say, well, Al Michaels doesn't eat vegetables. It's like, what do I say to that?
Yeah.
They've got a point.
Yeah,
What about parsley? What if you sprinkle a little parsley on a steak? Does he do that?
No chance. If it's green, he'll send it back.
I love it. I mean, what a dudes do. That's like, that is everyone's dream. Like, can I go my whole life without eating a vegetable?
Mm-hmm.
That's ice cream for dinner and no vegetables. That's the life.
I got to do some serious journalism here, Ryan. There was a viral moment a couple years ago. You were doing an interview, and somebody asked you about a water slide, and you didn't seem very happy with the question about the water slide. So I'm going to ask you the same question again, and maybe we could just have a conversation about water slides. Big Cat, do you like water slides?
Love them.
I love water slides.
Except for the
Okay,
time
so
I
I
hurt my
saw-
hip on one.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the danger. Is like it's
Yeah.
not. It's actually the liability of the water park
Right.
if you hurt your hip.
Right.
It doesn't fall on you. Like your employer can't get mad at you if you hurt your
But
hip.
I
on a water
I didn't
slide.
tell Barstool because I was nervous that they were going to be like, well, you can't podcast anymore because you got hurt on a water slide.
Yeah, that's a smart idea, I think. But Ryan, has anything like that ever happened to you in the past?
Yeah, so I guess I'll have to explain myself. So this was like I was doing the 10 interviews in a day, and this is interview number 8, and it's Dan Levitard, and Stu Gatz. They asked me the question. I mean, I ended my career hurting my hip. So, like, is it funny? I don't really joke about it, but I wasn't necessarily in the mood that day. With you guys, now I'm in the mood. Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I actually had it. So Mike Golick pulled me into an interview, and Stu Gatz was with him. And I was like, Mike, this is just showing you how much I like you because he's here. Stu Gatz and I worked it out. And the line that I gave to him was, it's all water under the slide. So we're good now. But it just to what you guys were referring to, somebody called in from a radio station, said they saw me with like 10 of my kids at a water slide 2 weeks before the season started. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. It's like Richard Gere and the gerbil. Like, I don't,
That's a deep
so
cut.
now
I like
Yeah.
it lives on.
Marilyn
but,
Manson and the ribs.
yeah.
I think what the
Yeah.
story was, it was a radio caller on I think 106.7 The Fan in DC, and they called in saying that they were a lifeguard at Lake Fairfax Water Park, and they saw you there, and there was no fact checking done on it whatsoever. And then it just kind of, you know how sports radio show listeners are. If you don't clarify.
Let me ask you though, because now that I'm thinking about it, the voice sounded like your voice a little bit. Is there any?
I would have never. I loved you, Ryan. I wanted to get a full season of Fitzmagic in DC. That was the only thing I was excited about that year. But yeah, it was
Okay.
me.
Well,
Yeah.
to steal a word from Al Michaels in his famous OJ days, it's completely farcical. It's farcical.
Yes. All right. I have one last question. It's a Roback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, everything. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE. I saw you talked about this a couple weeks ago about Zach Wilson, and maybe I can do it for all the young quarterbacks in the NFL right now. You know, you throw in Justin Fields. Jordan Love has been struggling recently. How hard is it to actually tune out everything that's being said, and how much does it affect you if you're playing a quarterback position in a big market where people are talking about you and you're like, you can't escape it?
Yeah, it's really difficult. And the flip side of that, I was in New York for 2 years. 2015, we had a great season. We ended up going 10-6, unexpected. To be the starting quarterback of a New York football team when things are good is amazing. You're courtside at Madison Square Garden. Everybody's patting you on the back. There's a certain energy in the city. And then 2016, I had a horrible year and just got to experience, how bad it is in a big city like that. You can't escape it. And what you need, like family to be able to lean on that. And Zach and I are two very different people in terms of that, because I have a lot of kids and I don't think he has any. But that quarterback room becomes that much more important. The backup quarterbacks, I don't know how much Aaron is in and out of the building, Nathaniel Hackett, the quarterback coach, that's like your little safe place where you're insulated from all that noise and you just get to focus and do your best and try to, play your best game the next week. But it's it's very difficult, especially now with the younger kids. I'm sure the social media part of it and how big that is in their lives. Like they're seeing everything. I promise they're seeing everything. But that's why something like the Rodney Harrison thing, where he just went after or was going after Zach Wilson, talking to Chris Jones. Like I think people really flipped a little bit. Now people want to see Zach succeed because it has been so negative towards him. And you're kind of happy that he's playing a little bit better now.
Yeah. I definitely sometimes feel bad because we add to it, but we also react. I mean, this is, it's an entertainment league.
But Justin Fields is another great example. They lost 14 games in a row, right? But you saw the last 2 weeks, there's still like energy and excitement in that locker room. And you ask, like, how could he possibly be showing that excitement and energy on the field? It's because like those guys do believe. I went through this a bunch of my career. My first year with the Dolphins in 2019, we lost our first 7 games or whatever it was. We were tanking for Tua. The first couple games we lost by like 100 points. But you start to bond and it's us against the world. That mentality really does come into your mind. And I think the Bears are a little bit like that right now because everybody hates Eberflus. Justin Fields isn't the guy.
He is the guy.
And they're kind of bonding over that negativity and saying, look, nobody believes in us but the guys in this locker room. Let's go get it.
It's a great point that we forget because in all the other sports, it has become commonplace, the tank. You can't tank in the NFL. It's impossible to tank because everyone's playing for a job. So even when a team looks terrible, they're still going to go out. And yeah, some weeks are going to look worse than others, but you can't tank on a full season.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a lot more difficult to try to do that in our sport than it is others, say basketball or whatever it is. But I think the Bears are a prime example of that. And, Carolina's going to beat a few football teams this year too. They've got a tough defense and they'll have a game or two where they figure it out.
Do you ever feel bad for me personally that when you were on the Dolphins, you didn't get that 2-point conversion? Because if you'd gotten that 2-point conversion, then the Washington football team would have drafted Joe Burrow and I would be super happy and I would be a winner and I would be cool. Do you ever think about that play? Like, you really fucked me on that one, Ryan.
Yeah, I didn't love the play call. I'm not going to lie. When it came in, that 2-point play, I didn't love the play call. Yeah. So, I don't know. You can blame me. You can blame others. It's all good.
My life would be so good.
Yeah, your life would be a lot
better. You know what, though? I was getting grief from Miami fans, too, now, because we played Cincy that year, and we ended up beating Cincy in overtime.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of grief that way, too. And now I think they're pretty happy about Tua.
Yeah.
You're really the sliding doors moment. For the careers of Tua and Joe Burrow, like they're directly tied to you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, what about Sam Howell? We could throw him in there too, right? Because there would be no Sam Howell if there was a Joe.
That's very true. That's a great point. Maybe no Josh Harris.
I think we just
if we got Joe Burrow, then Dan Snyder would
not have sold.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. So we just made your case for the Hall of Fame. You cannot tell the story of football without Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. I think you had to make a Pro Bowl in order to be eligible, though. So I don't.
No, those are fake now. You actually also could just lie and say you did
Huntley's
as an alternate.
eligible.
Yeah. You made a Pro Bowl. You made a couple Pro Bowls. You just didn't. You declined.
Sure. Yeah. It's like the work at did any teams call you?
Yeah. I'm fielding calls.
Do you want to do Super Bowl predictions? Who's in the game?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned in this media thing, people are going to get mad at you and hate you no matter what you say.
Yep.
But I think, this is not a hot take that I think San Francisco is the best team in the NFC. So let's go San Francisco, Miami.
Okay. That would be a fun Super Bowl.
It'd be a very good
Student
uniform
versus
game.
pupil.
Yeah.
Yeah, or teacher versus pupil. That would be great.
Mm-hmm. Philly is going to get mad at you for saying that.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
Oh, yeah. And you also bashed Jared Goff so many times that it's like you want him out of the league.
And you left Jalen Hurts off your top 4 quarterbacks list.
Mm-hmm. These are all things that happened. Get excited for the headlines tomorrow, Ryan. This will be fun.
Can't wait. And you guys, so are you guys in Chicago now?
We moved, and then we're in New York for this week because we're taping something else. But yes, when you come for the Panthers Bears, you need to come to the
9th.
office. The new office will be open, full basketball court. We'll come up with some maybe some throwing drills that you can get us through.
Yeah, your guy Sam Schwartzen's coming by that week too.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
Sam,
Al.
what a stud.
Yeah.
Well, Al's coming through?
Yeah, hopefully he's going to come through, and we're going to maybe we'll figure out a way to like cook something that looks like a steak that's just like a big carrot or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to get him.
Get him a Boca burger.
Oh, if we get Al Michaels to eat his first vegetable,
Yeah.
break the internet.
No
It's like when Kim
chance.
Kardashian
No
took that
chance.
ass picture.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. All right. Well, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it, man. We'll see you soon.
All right, later, dudes.
Ryan Fitzpatrick was brought to you by Amazon Music. Listen to Part of My Take ad-free on Amazon Music and watch Thursday Night Football exclusively on Amazon Prime, where you can see Ryan Fitzpatrick. But more importantly, listen to Part of My Take on Amazon Music. It's ad-free. And also tune into Thursday Night Football.
Okay. Let's wrap up the show with Jimbos. Today's Jimbos brought to you by the one and only Snickers, the most satisfying solution for all those rookie mistake moments, packed with chocolate, caramel, peanuts, and nougat. Snickers is a go-to play when life throws blitzes your way. Rookie mistake, maybe you just need Snickers. Learn more at snickers.com/NFL, snickers.com/NFL. Go check them out right now. Snickers Ice Cream Elite. Hank.
Sup, Jimbo, PMT, especially Hank in the Lighthouse. I've been applying for multiple jobs in the film industry and haven't had much luck. The other night I was a tad drunk when I received yet another letter saying they were not moving forward with me in the hiring process. In my drunken state, I found the hiring manager on Twitter and sent him a screenshot of my application denial with the caption, "Bad decision, you guys are sleeping on me." I got an email the next morning saying how unprofessional that was and how the company might flag future job apps from me.
I like it. I like the fire.
I feel like the film
like,
industry is kind of is not like super corporate.
Yeah, didn't you? What? It definitely is. Like they're all the film industry.
I don't know what company he was applying for on this, but I like
Indies, dude. Just find an indie.
I like
Yeah,
the
find an
belief in
indie.
yourself, though.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do this all the time. This is like the big hammer that you bring out once in a while when you're feeling very disrespected. It's good motivation for yourself. And guess what? You just burned the boat. Now you know you can't go there anymore. It makes you work harder for the other openings.
Next time, and then in a few years when they come to you for a job, you send them back that screenshot and be like, fire this person.
Well, you actually should do what you should do is screenshot the email saying that was in poor taste and send it to the guy who sent that email and be like, kind of a pussy move.
You mad?
Yeah, just keep going. You're triggered.
Or we screenshot the email. I love that move. And then what did the guy say back to him? Very unprofessional. You send that exact wording back to him from his email. He should be above that.
Yeah.
Now, you shouldn't do this all the time, but in certain
I think you
circumstances,
should do it all the time.
it's like Michael Jordan getting cut from his freshman year basketball team.
Eventually, you're going to find someone who likes that dog in you.
Wait, Michael Jordan got cut from his varsity team as a freshman. He still played high school basketball.
He did.
We forget
Very much
that.
did.
I accidentally stepped on and ripped the bride's dress at my uncle's wedding this weekend. Ripped the bottom portion off completely. Luckily, the ceremony had ended, but she was rocking a skirt for the rest of the night.
It's hot.
Yeah. Do that, punk that. Ceremony had ended?
Yeah.
So you probably did her a favor. She wanted to dance. Most brides have like they have a dress alteration that they go out on the dance floor with.
Some do.
So you just
some
did
do
that
change.
for her.
Yeah.
You should send her a bill for being her tailor.
Also,
Or dress. What's the word? For it?
seamstress.
No, there's something special for wedding dresses, aren't there? A wedding dress person.
I don't know. I think it's a seamstress,
Wedding
isn't it?
dress person.
Also, if you ripped it off, she was probably able to dance better, and it's not like she's going to wear it again.
Yeah, and it was hot.
Yeah, and it was hot.
What the fuck is a wedding?
And she probably felt hot with a skirt.
Jennifer Lopez. My friend dared me to try and kick a stray traffic cone on the sidewalk. I took a 50-foot running head start and tried to kick the traffic cone like I would a 70-yard field goal. Fortunately, the cone wasn't just put there randomly. It was covering a concrete pole. I ended up kicking a hidden concrete pole as hard as I could, which sent me flying through the air and landing on my back. It was all last that night until the next morning when I couldn't walk. I completely broke my foot. Don't try to be Justin Tucker when the football is actually just full of concrete.
Yeah, people forget that cones are put there warning you against something.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than having the drunk injury where you're like, I think I'm fine, and then waking up and realizing you're not fine.
When you get back to the real world the next day.
Oh, the worst. Because you do have that moment if you're very drunk and you get hurt. Nah, this is totally fine. You kind of like walk around a little extra, test it out. Yeah, I can close my fist. I'm good. I don't have a broken wrist.
That's what happened to me when I broke my foot walking in New York. I walked it off and went home, and I was like, "Oh, it'll feel better in the morning." No, it's always way worse.
Way worse.
Way worse.
Way worse because you're hungover and you're hurt.
You know what the thing about traffic cones is, or just cones in general? Until you start noticing cones and like looking for cones, you forget how many cones there are in this world.
Yeah, a lot of cones.
Cones are everywhere, and sometimes they put them up at just random places that don't make any sense at all. But cones, there are probably more cones on Earth than bees.
Yeah, that's a fact. Breaking news, by the way. Connor Bedard is undefeated as an NHL player.
Oh, did he score?
No, but they won.
All right.
That's pretty cool. Winning your first game.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I said the
Share your
Blackhawks
season tickets.
waited until after
No, it's a season ticket holder.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yes. We waited to win our first game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last one. Hey, PMT, my Jimbo moment occurred while ordering lunch. It's the new guy's role to order lunch for the group, so I had to order lunch from a local place for 15 people.
Wait, what?
It said local place. We'll circle back to that. I was able to place order online without any issue. However, when I showed up to the place to pick up, they had no record of my order. I checked my receipt and ordered it to the wrong location. This other location is over an hour away. Safe to say I had to take a drive of shame as no one brought lunch this day. There's no better way to get your coworkers cranky at you than when you take 2 hours to get their lunch.
Yeah.
Not local is what you're saying.
That's such a shitty feeling. I did that last summer where I was on vacation and I ordered lunch to my house in Brooklyn.
I used to do that once a week, conservatively
remember
speaking. You remember I got on a real hot streak where I would order my lunch to my apartment by accident, and then I'd have to text my neighbor, "Hey, if you want Chick-fil-A for the third time this week, it's outside."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling. There's nothing you can do. But why would you get into a car and drive an hour each way instead of just ordering it again to the right location?
See, I thought that's the rich in you because then I remember.
No, Hank, it's the cheap and the poor in me because time is money.
Oh, people were getting mad at me because I said $870,000 for Brock Purdy. Like, not a lot of money. Obviously, I meant that for a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, they're so out of touch. Like, dude, I know $807,000 is a lot of money. He's a starting quarterback on the best team in the NFL. That's not a lot of money for the starting quarterback of the NFL on the best team in the NFL.
Agreed. A top 4 quarterback in the NFL,
Yeah.
as we learned. Hank, was this an order that this guy placed on his own to be a nice guy for 15 people? Or was it like through work?
Sounds like he had to place it and then he was probably going to get paid back or whatever. But when I was an intern, I used to have to go pick up Dave's lunch and I had no money. And I used to have to ask. I would go to Panera and try and get like extra bread, or occasionally if I was being risky, like order myself a chicken like a soup, broccoli cheddar soup, and just hope he didn't count the change.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking if this was me in this situation, like I would be like, I'm driving.
You have to
it's
drive?
going to be like my car broke down or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a long drive if you have to go 2 hours for lunch.
But if it's 15 people, that's probably like $250.
Yeah. I'm just thinking if it's like on the work account, they would probably understand if the new guy screwed up.
For sure, but he probably had to order it and then wasn't ready to pay twice.
No. Okay. Good show, boys. Great show.
Great show.
Any questions from you, Max?
No, I'm sorry for lashing out.
Same. Actually, I wasn't listening. I was just asking.
No, and also
Apology accepted.
Max, the thing that people don't understand about Max is he cares when he can't like speak or get his points across.
Mm-hmm.
He gets flustered. His brain short circuits. He's like, what I'm trying to say.
He's in denial about the loss. He's trying to make the loss seem like it didn't happen by saying it was actually
You guys
good.
don't understand.
No.
I was just trying to find a silver line. Like, you saw how down bad I was last night.
Cope.
You saw how down bad I was last night, and all I was thinking, this series is over. This is bullshit. And then this morning, I was trying to like get some sort of positive going into the next game, and that was something I was like, you know what, like Castellanos could have won the game, like,
but he didn't.
You got the split.
Like, the split, yeah. I want like the most recent. I want to look at like what can I get out of positive after all those bad events. And I was like, you know what?
The bank.
You guys
you could have not gone on that whole like it was a good out and could have just said, if you told me going to the series that we'd split at the Braves, I'd be happy.
Splits are good. You guys split the top of the ninth inning and the bottom of the ninth inning too.
Yeah.
You split the ninth inning.
No, they scored. Wasn't the ninth inning when they hit their? Oh yeah, you're right. No, they didn't bat in the 9th inning. So yeah, they never scored.
Okay.
That's a fact.
That was okay. Whatever.
What? You're tied going into the next game, both in the 9th innings.
Well, we are tied 1-1 going into the next game.
Right,
Correct.
right, but also in 9th innings.
This is the everything Aaron Nola game. This defines everything because I'm kind of an Aaron Nola hater, but if he pitches well, I will love him forever. If he pitches poorly, I never want to see his face again.
Wow. What if he pitches mid?
You got to win the game.
So what if he gives up 6 earned runs in 3 innings pitched, but you win the game?
Then he lives to see another day. But
Are you going to kill him?
It'll just be he'll be dead.
You
To
gonna
me
put him in the grave next to Bloopy?
Mentally he will be dead in my brain.
Max, what if he pitches really, really well, but they just hit a lot of ground balls to where your filders aren't?
What if there are a lot of bang bang plays?
He's got quality pitches.
Yeah, what if he?
I wouldn't tip my cap, but I would understand.
What if he pitches really, really well, but the manager Max Salente puts him out in the 7th inning when he's clearly fatigued?
I'm not the manager.
You kind of are.
Do you think Matt Olson watched memes brought this up? Do you think Matt Olson watched the videos of me freaking out?
I'll text it to him.
Don't do
I'd
that.
say yes. Unless he's doing
No problem. I'll text to him.
social media shutdown for the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'll text to him. So
Don't
you can-
don't text it.
I
To
will
him.
absolutely.
Don't text it to him.
You should
I
probably
should've never
text it
said
to him
that.
just in case.
I'm gonna text it to him. I'll text him the full video. All right,
Text him
number
the one where Max goes, everything you said was a lie. No, everything I said was right, and everything everyone else said was a lie.
Everything I said was true, and everything everyone else said was wrong.
Okay,
That's
hold
my
on.
favorite.
I'm gonna text him right now. I'm gonna say Max was on PMT. Max was wondering if you watched this video, so I want to make sure you watch.
No, that's not that. I asked you if you guys thought that. I didn't. I don't
were
want you to bring
wondering.
it. I don't want you to bring it to his attention.
Max, you were you or were you not wondering if
This
he
was
had
actually
seen the
Memes'
video?
question.
But you just wondered if he had seen the video.
I
Fact or
wondered
Now
fiction?
we're finding out.
I
Fact or
wondered
fiction?
if you guys.
He's getting the answer.
Fact or fiction?
I don't. But like I don't want like it.
Probably asleep.
Big Guy doesn't have to wonder because he can just text
Yeah,
it.
I just texted him. I said on PMT. Max was wondering if you watched this video, so I wanted you to watch
This
this
is-
video. Good luck tomorrow, but I'm rooting for the Phillies because I have a future on them.
You didn't say the last part.
No, I didn't say the last part,
Yeah.
but I thought it.
No, you said good luck tomorrow. I want you to win. I want to see tears.
I said good luck tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for him personally
you're rooting. You are rooting for the
for
Braves.
my future.
No, you're not.
Rooting for the Phils.
All right, numbers.
Okay, numbers
18.
69.
20.
Memes, you ever gotten this?
It's never happened.
Nope.
Also, the Rangers officially won. ALCS bound.
Yep.
All right.
Me-
2.
Name any
27.
number.
20,
He's trying to think of what number the
27.
Phillies are.
27.
Is that what number the Phillies are?
That was my little league number.
24.
Oh,
Damn.
It's close.
Close guess.
that was my.
If you had
brother's.
got, if you
That's
had
a quality-
gotten that, I would have.
You know what that is?
Max, that's a quality guess.
That is a really close guess.
Sorry.
That's next year.
Yeah.
24.
That's a real Max. You can go to bed tonight being like, I was close, and that almost as good as a win.
No. No. Let's go Nola.
Love you guys.